and welcome to the Inglorious Bards. I'm your friendly neighborhood Game Master Tom, and this is Episode 5, Ascension of the Flesh. This episode is sponsored by the Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop software, and I'd like to give a special thank you to our Patreon supporters and all the fans. Thanks for joining us and listening to the show. In our last adventure, the heroes met a giant battling a bunch of troglodytes living within a cave. The adventurers offered to help root out these lizard-like primitives in exchange for the giant showing where to find the Swamp Witch. After slaying a bunch of troglodytes, the heroes descended a long rope into a huge cavern where they found an abandoned city of smooth blue stone hidden underground. Within this city, Idrisil the elf encountered more of these troglodytes who took him to be some sort of godlike being. This episode, we are joined by special guest star Christopher Smith. You may remember Christopher as one of our players from Seasons 1 and 2, where he played Olgrim and Augie. We're excited to have him back for this special episode where he gets to lead the heroes right into trouble. What do these primitive lizards want? How will the heroes get out of this underground city? And when will they get back on track to finding the girl kidnapped by the witch? The adventure begins. Our view flashes through a forest, snapping branches off a tree. Past small cliffs of rock, we see a giant scrambling over loose stones. He smashes at troglodytes, 5-foot-tall primitives with ashen scales and bony growths rising out of their backs. The giant jams another troglodyte into his mouth and bites down with a bloody crunch. Our view flies past the giant and swoops into a darkened cave. There, several more of the troglodytes lie defeated on the ground, some slain by sword, others by fire and magic. We see a small chamber in the back of this cave where a hole opens up in the floor. A simple rope tied to a stalagmite disappears down the black hole. Our view swoops into the darkened hole, which immediately reveals a huge cavern below, half a mile wide and lit up by bioluminescent flora. The cavern is home to an underground city of pale blue stone. Flat buildings line wide avenues. Stairs rise up the sides of ziggurats. Aqueducts of smooth blue stone connect each building. The rope from the cavern above coils at an intersection of streets below. Not far from the way out, our heroes explore a silent old temple in a city long abandoned, or so they thought.
Just get this thing off me!
Hey, you killed that trog for the hermaphrodite. You killed that troggy good, Idrisil.
The goblin alchemist scurries over to the elf and tries to pull a dead troglodyte off of him.
I see that creature knocked over coins of offering from the altar, as well as some other items.
Ooh, treasure.
Jix immediately lets go of the dead troglodyte, dropping it back onto the elf with a thud. The goblin runs over to the altar and starts scooping up coins. Killian picks up the dead creature's spear. It glows with a magical light.
I don't like the feel, or the look, or the smell of this place. We should go back up.
Iggy pulls the dead troglodyte off Idrisil. Xander the sorcerer looks around the temple in wide-eyed astonishment.
This place is amazing! Look at the statues! Look at the stonework! We can't go now, we must know more! Who prayed here? Who walked down these steps? Who built this holy place?
And which old god just watched us slay a creature on its holy ground?
That's a good question!
Jix continues stuffing coins into his pouch as fast as he can.
How many coins did you find there, friend?
Just a few. Not many at all. Barely enough to even bother sharing, really.
Iggy the dwarf looks back out the door of the temple to find 10 armed troglodytes standing outside the doorway. They raise spears and clubs and seem none too pleased to find the heroes within the old temple.
Oh no, let's stay here in this freaky old city and chat about statues and stupid temples. Let's not listen to the dwarf, and let's not climb back up the rope.
We've got company. Jix, maybe put that gold back on the altar.
Oh, yeah, sure.
The troglodytes point their spears and command the heroes in a raspy language no one understands.
I think they want us to leave.
I think they want us to die.
Idrisil the elf walks towards the creatures.
We don't want any trouble. But if you try to harm us, we will defend ourselves.
Upon seeing the elf's face, the troglodytes lower their weapons and throw themselves at the ground. They keep their heads down on the floor and trade quiet whispers between each other. Idrisil looks confused as he stands over the creatures.
Was it something I said?
I think these creatures view you as some sort of deity?
Oh, God.
Idrisil slowly walks amongst the creatures, waiting for an attack that does not come. The creatures rise to their feet and gently hold the elf's hands.
This is amazing!
No! This is our chance to get out of here.
Let's not be too hasty, Iggy. If these simple yet magnificent people want to shower me with adoration, who am I to refuse them?
The creatures form a circle around Idrisil. They gently lead the elf out of the temple and down an avenue of blue stone.
So, we're just gonna go with him now, huh?
Yeah, stay with him.
The rest of the heroes catch up to the smiling elf as he is led away and endlessly pawed at by the troglodytes.
Yes, I have smooth skin. Easy on the pointed ears.
Where are they taking us?
Further and further from the way out.
The troglodytes surround all the heroes and lead them down a stone ramp beneath the old city. They continue to admire and paw at Idrisil, who doesn't mind the attention. The bottom of the ramp opens up into a large underground cistern with multiple channels running through it. 30, 40, 50 troglodytes spill out of simple huts, shacks made of debris, and out of darkened tunnels. Blue flowers light up the large chamber, along with several campfires. The troglodytes swarm across the cistern floor and gather around the stunned heroes.
What do I do now?
Something impressive, something godlike, something absolutely stunning they've never seen before. Like, no. How about, no. I'm sure it'll come to you.
Before Idrisil can speak, a large troglodyte rises to its feet. Standing before the rest of his tribe, the impressive-looking creature addresses Idrisil and his companions in the common language.
I see you, High Spirit. You gift us with your visit. You travel far to world of living. We Zugoth fight the bright world with spear and strength. We Zugoth protect your city and temples. We Zugoth are smiles and teeth.
Idrisil looks around nervously before Jix pushes him forward.
Get up there.
I'm happy to find you here in your lovely home. I see everything is going well, according to my plan, of course. I won't take much of your time. Lots of godly stuff to do, you know. Floods to rise, wicked to smite.
Blasphemy to punish.
Idrisil gingerly peeks under a bearskin on the ground.
Well, looks like everything's in order here. Time we get on our way. Best to get back to the heavens and all. Keep up the good work. We'll see you in another 1,000 years, yeah?
High Spirit stays. High Spirit's flesh body must prove itself. The fresh body must show strong and last before body ascends to heavens. Zugoth prepare the trials of flesh ascension.
That doesn't sound good.
I'm not ready for my flesh to ascend.
First, high spirits and lesser spirits rest for night before trials. We brave Zugoth honor you with food and house.
Idrisil and the rest of the heroes are led with gentle claws and pointed spears into the lair of the Zulgath. You are in this cistern that's moderately bright, even for those of you that don't have low light vision. You are being slowly taken down off of that ramp and into the main compound itself. There's fires, there's skins on the ground, there's debris piles, there's some weird lizard-like things that are being cooked over the fires. There's channels that have been cut long ago by the people that made this city with some water running through. You guys are being taken to a back section against a 30, 40-foot wall corner. It's like a pit that you're in almost. And in this section, there's a big leather covering tarp of hides and roof type section on top of poles that stick out. It looks very janky. And you guys are being brought into there, and there's some little tarps of hides. Oh, and I forgot to mention the whole place just smells horrifically bad. These creatures do not smell good, let alone their lair.
Janky, my home this is.
Top 10 things Yoda says. You guys are being brought in by several of these guards. You're being brought in by this Zolgath leader, and then also some important female leader who's right behind him as well.
This one's mine for the night, right? I get her.
Ew.
I mean, it doesn't go without perks, right? This god thing.
She points at you with her little spear.
Ow! You get nothing. You stay here and you sleep for the night.
Solgath! It was only a joke.
She pulls back the little opening and motions for you to go in with her spear.
I don't.
Let the liar go first.
Liar.
She cowers.
Really nailed his.
Wow. I don't think it smells that bad down here.
No, you wouldn't, would you?
Toka tries to. Toka is the guy here. Tries to open up his the entrance to this thing and hold it open for Idrisel.
Okay. Inside, it is gloriously nondescript. There are just a couple weird skins on the ground. There is the equivalent of a gift basket, which I'm even horrified to describe here. It's like half a wooden bowl with strange berries that have been rotten forever. And they have like those weird, what are those weird bird things that you eat out of the egg on Fear Factor?
Balut?
Yes. It's that kind of just horrific native foods that they have there that's so rare and so precious, and it's such a gift to them.
It just so grabs a handful of all of that, just amalgam of all of those ingredients. Yeah, give this to my goblin friend over there. Yeah,
Yeah, don't hog it all. Just give me some of this stuff.
hand this to him. And I give it to him to give to Jix.
Jix begins to devour some, but he sets aside some and puts in his pouch for later.
This is my sampler. He eats all of my food before me. His name is Jix.
I ate all the food.
Jix,
I might have eaten all the food.
That's okay. You deserve that reward.
make a fortitude saving throw, and if you have any resistance bonus to poison with your Iron Gut Goblin ability,
I
you
do.
can certainly add that.
26.
Yeah, you're rock solid.
It's delicious.
Well done.
And you and Toka holds up a bunch to Idrisel.
Get after it.
Just a
You
maybe
will
just
Go ahead,
a,
God
You
creature.
need your strength.
maybe just a sample. And he does that thing where he like pretends to take a shot, but throws it behind him.
Before you take any, Toka mashes it up even more for you to slurp out of your hands.
Straight out of his hands,
Yes.
out of his little claws.
I look cautiously at my party members and I
Killian nods like, yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Yep.
You're the god here.
He's right there, just big eyes.
Jix when you need him.
Xander's over your shoulder shaking his head. Just don't do it.
Does anyone
Don't do
have
it.
a healing spell ready? And I dip in.
Okay, so
Take some.
you lower your head into his open hands
Take the
and
offering.
lap from the horrific food.
I take the
Ooh,
offering.
it tickles.
Can you make a fortitude saving throw, please?
Sure I can. That's a 13.
Okay. You are able to hold it in at least until they leave.
I was going to say, can we hear some retching sounds, please?
He ate it.
As soon as he turns his back, I just yell, oh God! Jix, leftovers.
Seconds.
Who do you think I am, Brian?
The female Zolgath lady there, she glares at you one more time, Idrisil, and then hisses something at the guards in their language, and the guards post outside this giant tent-type structure, and then she leaves.
You said that the main leader, Toka, I believe his name is he a different species than the troglodytes?
Nope.
He's just the same. Okay.
He's the biggest one.
The biggest one? Okay.
And currently rifling through anything you brought into the tent.
He's like an Ewok.
He's just sorting through your
Going
stuff.
through your pack.
So it's nighttime. It's evening time. It's rest time.
It can be rest time for sure, yeah.
Idrisil kind of just crouches down and huddles next to Killian and Xander and Iggy and Jix. I didn't know they would bring us all the way into their headquarters, but now that we're here, we have a good shot of taking them down.
Oh, like 60 of them?
Yeah, I don't think we can. We're not ready for that.
I say we don't try to kill them. I say we just let them feed us some more.
I say we get the hell out of here our first chance. They're not attacking us.
Well,
We can try to get out right now.
If you make the path, I'll follow you. I'll try to distract him.
Can
With,
Toka overhear any of this?
Make a perception roll, Toga.
One perception roll. Hearing the word "kill them all." 16.
Yeah, you hear a few phrases from this, such as "leave as soon as we can," and "I didn't know they were going to bring us down here."
Okay. Toka joins the huddle.
His little head kind of sneaks in.
Idrisil just smells something really weird. So
Oh, hey! Toga?
I wrap my arm around him instinctively. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
We were just talking about you.
I know.
Yeah? What'd you hear?
You gods stay here tonight. No leaving.
Do we get a menu for breakfast, or how's that work? Is it a buffet? Is it cooked to order?
What were you talking about earlier? What's the trials of Ascension?
Oh, yes, please tell us.
Trials.
And it's just him, right? And I point at you.
No. Test all of you. Test your flesh.
What?
Strong. Gods you
Look at me,
were.
I'm strong. Why do I need a test?
Gods you were. But now not gods. Small gods. Weak, fleshy gods.
And he pokes at
Different
people.
bellies.
It
Not-
tickles.
You're not ready for the caves.
Caves?
You're not ready. Trials. Rest first, then trials.
Can you tell us a little more about the trials?
Oh, surprises.
Well, I was just testing you just to see if you were going to give it away or not.
Yeah, we have a test of our own, you know.
every time Idrisil speaks up.
You lower
Toga's head just goes a little bit lower.
And I give a cautiously optimistic look at Killian. See, God stuff, right?
Well, guys, I say we rest up. Get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, Toka, if you allow us until the morning, we will rest now. Leave us.
Toka sidesteps over to Idrisil and kind of tugs and pulls him a little closer.
Cannot leave.
And he draws a line on the floor.
No leave.
And then he dashes out.
after like pointing at the mini bar to answer Jix's question.
Mini bar extra.
Oh, I got coins.
Are there guards sort of waiting outside of the...
Yep, as soon as he parts the flap, you see there are some guards posted.
Guys.
Jix says as hushed as Jix can talk.
Yeah, there's a simple tarp in between us now. They can't possibly hear us.
Well, they don't know common guards, I'm assuming. I'm hoping.
Guys, I have an idea. How about I whip-ish up some potions that could give us a little bit of the edge that we need, and then we just do the testy thing, and then we get a little snack and go on our way.
You're saying do the trials of ascension and death, judgment by fire, judgment...
Ascension of flesh. Of flesh.
Yeah.
Ascension of flesh. I'm not
Testing
sleeping.
our flesh and, grinding meat to make bones and all that,
I don't think that's what they're talking about.
What do you think they're talking about?
I don't know, but the food here is really good.
That's,
The ambiance is amazing.
that's just your opinion.
The girl's not into me. It's obviously a trap. We've got to get out of here.
Do you want that
memories of China.
sneak girl to be
That's
into
not
you?
the point.
That's weird.
It's weird.
Those are weird.
You're weird.
You guys resting or are you doing something else?
I want to walk outside of the
No,
hut.
Xander's not resting. If everyone falls asleep, he's just gonna pace.
Iggy wants to walk outside of the hut.
You
and,
are stopped. As soon as you part the flaps, there are two Zalgath guards that turn around and get in your way. They do like almost that Roman spear crossing type thing.
So they just have two spears, two guards, two spears.
That's right. And then behind them are 40, 50, 60
Yeah.
people. And as you open the flat, there's like at least 20 of them turn and look.
Okay. Looking very defeated, I turn back around and go back into my friends.
Demoralized yourself again.
There's a
Eyebrows lower.
There's only 2 at the door, but there's a lot of them out there, like, looking at us. I don't getting past them.
I have an idea.
Is it the same as Jix's?
I hope not. I think I should try to get them to give me a tour of their cave with one of us so we can kind of, scope a way out and see if they'll walk us around. Who wants to come?
I
It's worth a
could
shot.
do that. Yes. Oh, I'll see if I can find any magic things that maybe can help us get out of here faster without having to do the Ascension of the Flesh.
Yeah.
I've never seen Saturn mad before.
Oh, you never tried to put a Ascension of the Flesh.
Poor translation from troglodyte.
Yeah.
Common.
It's like the ice cream of Sunday. Comes out as Ascension of the Flesh.
Just want to dance for you is all it really is.
Jix is gonna find a quiet little corner in the tent, put his stuff down on the floor, kind of do 3 circles.
Oh, yeah.
And
He's like a cozy old dog who can
Yeah.
sleep anywhere.
yeah, and he is going to rest.
All right.
A hand reaches up from under the tent. Good.
I go over by Jix and sit down, lay down on the floor next to him.
Okay.
Killian's kind of waiting for these
We doing
two
this,
to
Adam?
go
Nice,
try
yes.
to heal them when they get stabbed.
Okay.
God!
All 60 times.
Oh, you've much evidence.
Garson!
There is no response.
Toka!
Garthon means boy.
Just go out there and talk to him.
Yeah, and I just, it just walks towards the front of the tent. I need to talk to Toka.
You open up the tent. The 2 guards are there. They seem hesitant, but also point their spears at you. And you see the largest member of this community, Toka, is quickly trotting through, having heard his name yelled.
I just raise my hand and wave at him to bring him closer.
Toka is there.
No, tent.
Or not tent. Home.
Toka, with your permission, if you would show myself and my friend Xander here your home, I would love to see how you do life.
It's not time.
Right over your shoulder, I make eye contact with you and glow purple. No.
What?
My friend is also
with that inclination.
Detect magic.
my friend
He
is
does the
also a
jazz hands
god.
and everything.
We wish to see your home before the test.
Toga looks at the 2 guards.
They can come with your protection, no weapons. You have
He's-
a god's promise that I won't leave.
He hangs his head low and ushers you along.
Okay.
Okay.
I just So on the tour, I guess I'm just looking for caverns as casually as I can to see, if the way we came in is blocked, if there's a skylight, if there's any type of exit.
All right. So imagine you're like in a giant Olympic-sized swimming pool, maybe even double or triple as deep, really wide box type thing. It's got a couple channels, but much bigger. It's got a couple channels with a little bit of water that run through, and those are on the ground. So there's like a little slot that like a Jix type or gnome could scurry through, but there's water that's going through at either end. There is only one normal way out, and that is this large, wide ramp you came in that's at the far side. And then surrounding you guys are in a corner of this enormous swimming pool type thing. And then there is an upper area above it, but it's about 50 feet up. And then you don't know what's quite up. And then above you, still above all that, is more of the blue stone that is the bottom of the city itself that's above you.
Oh, wow. So we're really low.
Yeah, it's bizarre. You guys are in the forest of Syrian. You are inside a cave. You went down the cave into an enormous cavern. You then started to explore the city that was inside that cavern, and now you're underneath that city. It's like a friggin' turducken of craziness where you're at.
Crazy.
Now, how slow does time move down here compared to the next levels up? And
Due to gravity, yeah.
Where's my totem?
You're taken on a tour of the
Cavern.
the pool area, if you will, of the camp, and Toka is pointing out different Zolgath creatures and their different functions within the community. You can also see immediately that several more guards have raced to replace those that left, and the lady leader type has annoyedly run over there as well and is watching the entrance. And it was Idrisil and Xander. Did you go with him, or are you staying behind? All right, so it's Idrisil and Xander. And he's go ahead. You had something?
This one. Wait, so just two?
Just the two?
Oh, I thought it was
The three are in the tent.
3 in the tent. Okay.
The hut or whatever.
Okay. And he takes you, Toka takes you over towards his private tent type thing. And inside is as luxurious as Zolgath gets. Care to describe what your homestead looks like, Toka?
It is a bunch of moist furs. And fur is not easy to come by down here. It's usually scale. But whatever fur is generally, I imagine there are waterways and in the cistern and whatnot.
Sure.
So a lot of stuff has come by that way. So skinned and reused and all that kind of stuff. So crappy furs. You find that he has set up an adventuring pack that would typically be sold. Has been well worn, is torn apart, and its various parcels scattered about. To which he's taken to not eating any of the rations that would typically come along with a pack, but he's instead devouring the soap with a great deal of zeal that comes with the pack. And that's his treat, apparently, and he seems to offer a bit of it to you from as he walks around his tent. And this is pretty much the entirety of his existence.
Idrisil takes some of the soap and just wipes it on his hands.
Oh! He looks horrified that she would waste food like that.
Toka tries to lick the hands.
I got a friend.
No, Toka. Down, Toka.
Do gods not sleep?
Gods need very little sleep. So I thought it would be nice to view your home and see what mortals live like.
Toka is very sorry not knowing this, not understanding this.
It's okay, not everyone is gifted with a god's knowledge.
But you need rest. You're puny and small.
You're
not sharp.
My eyes light up as if I'm hunting prey, just to show him that I don't really... A show of power, I guess, if you will.
Magical in nature?
Make an intimidation roll, Idrisil. No, scratch that. Make a performance roll.
Okay.
That never gets rolled.
That's a natural 20.
Wow, natural 20. He is impressive. He literally has no magical ability to do that, but somehow he does.
He found a spell.
There's a glint in his eyes somehow.
Oh, of course. Yes, I understand now.
And we just continue on. Xander also has abilities, but he only shows them when he's in great stress.
You travel with small gods.
I am a demigod? So yes.
Small in size only, but not in power, I assure you.
I hide the power inside so as not to aware anyone who
Are you
would be a
making hand
threat.
movements like
The
that? He's
whole
like-
time. I'm making sure you see everything
Can I go full
I'm saying.
shield block?
It's all how you use it, right?
Exactly. Behold. I glow purple again.
You detect no magic around
Okay,
him.
thank you.
He's finished giving you the tour.
Yeah.
This is it. His little hut.
You should rest. The trials are very important.
Doesn't say very important. He barely understands that concept.
Well, thank you for showing us your home, Toka. Now you go get some rest. We will see you for the trials. And I'll walk inside the tent.
He will see you for the trials. I will observe and make sure that everyone is following the rules accordingly. Not doing the trials.
He says continually as he walks away. All right, the two of you head back to your big tent at the other side of this whole area. While Toka kicks back on a beanbag with a Mountain Dew and his hidden PlayStation. And you guys...
Wash down the river.
Well, you resting? Doing something else?
So I just walk up to Iggy and Killian. It looks like the only way out is about a 50-foot climb the way we came in, using that ramp. Other than that, we could throw Jix through one of the water holes, maybe climb about 200 feet to the city. It doesn't look good.
You see Jix, by the way, is kicking slightly in his sleep.
I will be over here meditating, preparing to meet Carahel.
It's just some trials. These little snake guys can't. What can they throw at us? And then I go back over and go to sleep next to Jix.
Xander does not want to sleep. Tired or not, Xander is pacing. This is not Xander's defender of Edlin Home. This is not something he's shooting for. Trials of the Flesh, Ascension of the Flesh is not what I'm here for.
A couple hours have gone by. Xander's still screaming and screaming. He just has his hands behind his head. Relax.
Why are we doing this? Why are we even here?
I just want us down here.
I wanted to learn things. I did not want to ascend.
Well,
I'm not ready to ascend.
A lot, haven't we?
It's not okay. It's not
Killian
okay.
opens his eye at that. He's like, well, as a matter of fact, A, we should not be impersonating gods. B, maybe we don't just go exploring everywhere. And C, come, let us pray.
He brings you in for a prayer.
I don't want to.
Come. You need prayer and meditation in this moment. Come. Okay, sit.
They see me praying to a different god. Do you have any idea how hard these trials are going to be?
Stacking face.
Pray to yourself then.
Make a religion roll for me real fast and add +2 to that, would you please, sir?
15?
15. You feel a little bit soothed by the mini sermon given to you, Xander. How much of that is entirely up to you. And some of you are resting for the night.
Yep.
I don't do anything until
And
morning time.
you should find rest this evening, because tomorrow our flesh ascends. I am prepared to meet my god. Are you?
I will, at the very least, take first watch.
Okay.
If someone relieves me from watch, then I may try to rest.
All right. You are on first watch. Nothing unusual happens that night. Xander, you do finally get some rest. The rest of you take different turns at watch, and there is no funny business that happens. There is, when Jix is at watch, sleepily awake, you do hear some commotion of some people that are trying to enter, but they are kept at bay by the guards. And then it is morning time, and you know it is morning time as you can hear some light drumming playing. Some like boom, 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 over and over again. You can smell some smells that might be food and might be trash. You're not sure.
Jix wakes first, since he fell asleep first. And he takes some of the food from his pouch from last night. He takes some of the glowing bioluminescent flora that he grabbed from the day before. And he spends a little bit of time making some concoctions.
Oh, okay. Also during that time, going to bed and waking up in the morning, any of you with magical type items can make rolls to identify them.
Ooh, we had a scroll case, right?
Yes.
Jix has a few things.
Yeah, and
There's a silver potion.
Okay.
Another silver potion?
Oh, wait, is that the silver
potion
that you have?
Yep.
So I don't have that?
Nope.
I thought I erased that.
It's a duplication bug in your
There's
party.
two potions.
That's
yeah, we did find I thought we found a potion.
Yeah.
Or somebody found a potion on the altar.
I found a secret potion.
There is a potion, yes. Make a crafting roll.
Okay. 16.
16. You have identified that as an elixir of life.
Oh, okay.
A permanent one.
There's also a scroll.
A scroll. You have that, Jix?
Yeah.
Okay, make an Arcana roll, please.
28.
Whoa,
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Did you have any other magic item that you wanted to immediately identify?
The
then?
gem.
The gem? The gem you identify as a mesmerizing opal. This is a one-time use only item, and I believe it hangs off of your armor like a little talisman or badge. And when you use it before you make a deception roll. So if you're going to lie or tell a big story, like maybe you're a god or something, or if you want to do the feint action, anything along those lines, you burn it and it's gone forever. If you get a, if you get a success, it doesn't do anything, I think is how it works. But if you get a critical failure or a success, they get boosted up. You get a whole boosts up out of a lot of these things. So it's a great way to try and deceive things. So I have this little card for you. And the other one you found was the scroll. That is a scroll of grease, a grease scroll. It lets anyone who can cast a grease spell, which would be Xander only, can cast a grease spell, which affects several different squares around within 30 feet and makes them very slippery.
Do I know that Xander can cast that spell?
Yeah, you chat with him a little bit about it. Killian says, I don't know how this magic works. And Xander identifies the scribblings and writings and how they all fit together.
All right. So I've done that.
Anyone else have any?
I have a spear.
Yes.
Ooh, yes.
Make
Glorious.
a Arcana roll.
15.
15 is totally fine. You identify that as a +1 magic spear. It adds +1 to your hits. No bonuses to the damage with this system, but it adds +1 to your hit for your attacks with that weapon.
Right on. That's great for you.
Yeah, it is.
And what about the glowing tip?
That's the magic part.
It just glows?
Yes.
Okay.
A little bit of light. Not much.
The other part is a stick.
Is that elixir of life I found? Is that a normal?
But does it
That's
just
common
sit
in normal elixir, yeah.
normal. So 1d6.
Yep.
Okay.
Just like what you have.
All right.
You guys did level up, so you now have access to more abilities or what have you, and your hit points and all that, I think pretty much return, unless there's any reason not to. I think you're good.
I feel much more rested. I'm fine for an ascension of the flesh now. I'm a whole level higher.
Hey, Xander.
Yeah.
Well, I was reading the scroll, and I think maybe you could use it.
Let me see.
Here, take a look.
It never gets old. Right in my eye. Wow. Oh, slippery. This is a grease scroll.
He says that with everything you hand him.
That's all I got.
And I pre-greased it for you.
There is drumming that gets a little louder. You can hear multiple footsteps are approaching.
And then before the drummers arrive to our hut, I call everyone over and say,
Guys, I made a little something for you.
and I put 2 vials in each person's hand.
Okay.
If you feel like you need a little extra energy or a little extra fortitude, maybe for your little pussy stomachs or anything like that, just pop one of these vials. Got it?
Are these one of your... These are going to disappear pretty quick?
Why is it so sticky?
It slipped right out of my hand. I got it. It's so close.
Oh, it's good all day.
Are they different or are they 2 copies of the same thing?
They're all the same.
Okay.
I made 10
Potions
vials.
of this
So what's
thing.
it do?
But annoyingly, they're in different bottles. And
What's it do?
It's gonna give you plus 2, plus 1, plus. Hold on.
oh, he's just making stuff up.
Yeah.
Throwing numbers around.
Killian slowly closes his book. It says, had been writing like drums in the
This is why you
deep.
got ejected as a pharmacist. He's just making up stuff. So cure your itches.
I don't want to tell you too much, but it'll give you a fortitude bonus.
There you go. Okay. You know what it is.
I want it to be a surprise.
Yeah.
Just like he explained.
That's
If you're feeling
exactly
a little,
Like the heat of battle, and then, hey, what's that fortitude saving goal?
if you're feeling a little low on hit points, or if you're feeling a little weak and queasy,
All right, I'm just gonna write
pop
plus
one of these
blank
back.
43.
If I drink this and then shit myself, I'm gonna strangle you.
Better not be any balut in this thing.
If I drink this and he shits himself, I'm gonna freak out.
Not only can I address
Pick the person to your left to shit themselves.
Got to be a survival rule.
Be some shocked Zolgoths.
The flap opens up, and you see there is a retinue of 10 guards with their spears and their formal harnesses, and leading the charge is their leader, Toka, wearing some fine-plumed headdress.
Rested?
I like your hat.
All rested.
Can I have it? It's a nice hat.
He looks around to his other people.
No.
It'll give him some inspiration.
No, this way.
He motions you forward, and you follow him.
Jix wants to thank Toka for the wonderful breakfast.
And you guys are marching out.
Where are we going, Toka?
First challenge.
Oh, good.
To eat. And drink.
I try to pace back and get with Jix, and I look down at Jix. Do you still
Toka
have...
drifts back with Alistair.
Okay, Idrisil.
You're up front.
Seth, what are you?
Oh, a dwarf barbarian.
Dwarf barbarian. So you're already short.
I'm a little guy, yeah.
Okay.
This
so-
whole side of the table is like 4 foot or less, I
Yes.
think.
Yeah.
How do gods get so small?
Shrinking
I'm big
potion.
where it counts.
He's still.
Pointing to Idrisil.
The High Spirit is very tall compared to you. Are the gods very similar?
The gods ate part of us.
Gods hate part of you.
Yeah, they got hungry and they wanted to get bigger, so we sacrificed part of ourselves for them.
You realize you are writing our religion as you speak.
There's already a schism between half the community. Did they get eaten or not?
Scribbling out huge sections of stuff. We got
People are being hung for heresy.
A temple just starts going up in flames.
Got chiseling on the walls.
I'm so close. You are led
This is how legends are born.
You're led to the loud music with the drums, and you go through a wide tunnel that could fit like a train through it. It's maybe 60, 70 feet long, though, and it's a little darker in the tunnel, but it's lit up like crazy on the other side. And it's like you are going through like a soccer stadium, go about ready to walk out onto the field, and you're one of the players themselves. It's that kind of entrance tunnel. The music keeps banging. Boom,
It
bum,
so
bum,
just
bum,
instinctively starts
bum,
waving
bum,
his hands
bum,
at
bum,
everybody.
bum. You walk out, and he just still waves his hands preemptively, and he nails it. The large amount of the Zolgath are here in a arena that is located within the city that they have brought you to. There are a lot of the people from the community where you just came from, and there are also some others that have been brought in maybe from other locations not too far away from the city. They clap, they cheer, they hiss, and it's a largest-ish stadium that the Zolgath cannot fit with the crowd size. There's just not enough of them. Here's a really simplistic representation.
So you're saying we sold out?
You did, kind of.
Did your best.
In more ways than one?
You've got everyone in attendance. That's what you've got. You've got the whole place.
There's a whole bunch of people. They're cheering, and you guys are brought up some steps to the main area where the former king of whoever built this city would sit. So Caesar's little pavilion, if you will.
Is there like dead people and blood all around like there is in that picture?
There are no dead people.
Not yet.
No, but you do see odd things, a menagerie of strange, bizarre baubles and trinkets and stuff. You are like, well, what? Like, we might need that. And like, that's just garbage. Isn't that mine? There's just strange, there's just strange things there. And like, they're laid out in very specific ways and they seems important. There's a couple little Zolgath that are arranging things. and the crowd's very excited, and you guys get led up to the top, and Toka motions for you guys to all sit as the first course of your Ascension meal is brought forth to eat. Toka, what is the first course?
The first course is the finest of stream-brought foods.
Okay.
It is probably decaying horse matter.
You have decayed horse matter on a stick brought for each of you guys. And the crowd, again, are not eating anything, and they all grow silent as they wait for you to all sample the delicacy.
Once all the plates get set.
Plates?
Or whatever.
The trough.
Giant stick.
Once the sticks are all passed out, Jix stands up and grabs a vial from his belt and looks at each one of you and says, "A toast." Yes?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Hey, I'm trusting you.
He unbuckles his belt.
Yeah, I think we're all gonna drink one of our vials.
All right.
To the Zolgath and Toka and this fine breakfast.
Toka!
Everybody
Swings it
drinks.
back.
Everybody drinks. What do they feel when that happens, Jake?
As everyone drinks the formula that they
Wide-eyed
just,
looking around.
Yeah.
they feel a surge of energy for one. In fact, so much of a surge of energy that they get 5 bonus hit points.
Nice.
And then they feel like ripples kind of starting to go through their bodies. And they see like their hands getting a little bigger and their feet getting a little bigger. Ooh. And their pants are a little tighter in the thighs, and the arms of their shirts and everything start to like rip at the seams, and all of a sudden they're all bulky. They're the same size as they are.
All right.
Their physical height and everything, but now they're all bulked up juggernauts.
Okay.
With a +1 bonus to fortitude saves and a 5 bonus hit points.
How long does that last?
For 1 minute.
Eat fast, Gerald.
We need course 2, course 3, go! My image that I'm most curious about is Xander, the buffed up juggernaut sorcerer gnome.
They just start like flexing a little bit, like not even wearing jeans, like shaking their arms, like look at it. Just it's all stiff. I can't put my arms down. I'm only 2 feet tall.
Toga is mortified and entranced.
Yes!
Gods be praised.
Out on the main arena area, the drums get a little bit louder, and crawling out on all fours is the female leader, number 2 of the Zolgath. And she then crawls out to the middle and then stands up. She has a little headdress as well. She waits from a nod from Toka, who gives it to her, and the drums stop. And she says, "The trial of Ascensions will begin now. You will choose a member of the gods to face the first challenge. Toka, what is the first challenge? The challenge of..."
Toka looks at each one. Strength!
Woo! The crowd cheers. Ooh, strength. And she, down in the arena, motions to the entire arena and backs away and motions for someone or some people in your group to come forth and backs away. And as you look down in the arena to see what is there, you see the following things. You see a wall of stone 100 feet long in a half circle with a picture of a Zolgath face crudely painted on it. You also see a small boulder perched on top of the wall. These are all in different sections. Maybe about 50 feet away, there's 4 large empty ceramic jugs. Maybe 100 feet away is a pole with 2 goblin dogs tied to it. These are small, very sinewy, nasty, disease-ridden creatures that are snapping at each other and snarling at all the Zulgath. They definitely don't want to be there. In the center of this entire arena is a huge bonfire that's burning and sending smoke everywhere, and it's a decent-sized bonfire. There is also a wide channel that runs through the bottom, similar to the cistern back where you came from, that has fast-moving water that's running through it. Doesn't look to be the most pleasant-looking water, by the way. There is several coils of rope totaling about 100 feet just thrown into a pile. Not too far away from that is a smashed stone column where a crocodile is roped to it, and it is also really pissed off and not happy to be there. There's a pile of 15 pieces of chalk. There's a whole other section of a dozen wooden bowls filled with different colored paints. There are also above you, there are 2 long ropes that stretch across the arena 20 feet above the ground that cross each other like an X. There's 3 more items. There's a wooden tub of electric eels. Of course there is. There is a net.
Why wouldn't there be?
There's a net. Oh, no, wait, there's a couple more. You might have to scroll up.
Favorite.
There's a couple more. There are also 7 of the Zulgath standing in a corner of this arena, each holding a flaming torch. There's a mandatory copper flute. There are 5 empty barrels. And finally, there's a 20-foot region on the ground of a splattering of green, very sticky goo. And that is everything they have gathered from their treasure hunting. This is their vault they have brought forth for these demigods to display. What was the feat that has been called for? Strength.
And Toga just goes, go.
Ignol stands, gives the group a look, and walks to where he pointed.
It's the arena.
Yeah.
You walk down the stairs, and the audience.
No.
Audience gets very quiet, and they're watching where you go and what do you do to show them this feat of strength.
I'm doing some flexing, like as I walk down.
Okay, a little wrestling.
Yep.
Intro.
Where's my music? What's my intro music? So I walk down there.
You're there. You have all of these things available. There's nothing being given to you. There'd be nothing for you actively to do. It is your task to show your feat of strength.
Huh. That's not what I was expecting. I'm gonna go up to the wooden bowls
of
filled
paint
with the paint.
Okay.
And I'm gonna like stripe, like paint my face, like
war paint.
Like war paint.
You gonna Bob Ross the shit out of this?
Yep.
There are only happy accidents.
Wow. Okay. And then I'm gonna go over to the how big is the crocodile?
It is 8 feet long.
Okay.
He goes to the dogs.
I'm going to sudden charge that crocodile.
Whoa! You put on the face paint, you drop the bowls, and then you immediately run to your left with a sudden charge at the crocodile.
Yep, with my long sword drawn.
You have your sword drawn and coming at it, and you're attacking.
Yep.
Go for it.
A 14.
14! You race right over, and you swing, and you hit the floor of the arena with a loud clang right next to the crocodile.
Ha ha! And then I back away.
It hisses.
Before it can snap.
All right, it snaps at the air but doesn't get to you. The crowd cheers for a moment and then they wait.
And I do some more flexing. And then I go back and swing at the crocodile again.
All right.
With a 21.
That's a hit.
For 2 points of 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. You cut into the back, probably the upper portion of the tail of the crocodile. It takes a snap at you as you got a little too close. It only got a 9 to hit. Snaps to there and gets nothing. And you are embroiled with a conflict with this crocodile. If you want to strike again,
yeah,
go for it.
The crocodile is chained?
It is tied with a rope to a stone column, yes.
Tied to a rope. Toko waves to Silurith his second.
She goes over there immediately and cuts the rope. All right. Crocodile's on the loose. The crowd's cheering.
21 again.
21's another hit.
10 points of damage.
Huge. 10 points. You slash at the crocodile and split its lower jaw almost in half, like a flapping section. It curls away, hissing bloods everywhere. It makes this weird coughing noise for a second, and it runs right back at you desperately for its big final attack and gets a 7 to hit. It bites you with this big floppy gummy thing, and the teeth can't get purchased. You can make an attack with +2. It's very vulnerable right now.
21.
That's
again.
a hit.
Third time in a row. 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. You can finish this thing off. How do you do that?
I bring the sword right down through its head, and then through all the way through his head into the ground.
All right. You pierce its head right through it. There is cries of excitement and I don't know if they know how to clap, but there's
The loudest,
there's
loudest of all of them is Xander.
he's a little sensitive to the juice.
It's because he's smaller than everybody else.
Toka, you had something?
Yep. Oh.
It was one portion for everyone.
There's banging on the table and
Oh, okay, yeah. They hammer their clubs and their spears into the amphitheater stone. And you've got this war-painted dwarf who's cheering to the crowd. Make a performance roll and add +4 to it.
12?
12.
Oh.
Toka, what is your response to this big feat of strength?
Toka addresses Sillareth first.
Okay.
You doubted, and here is proof. We have the gods, small and big. Yeah!
Yeah! He doesn't know what he's yelling for at all.
He's just like wide-eyed, just looking around.
Things! Things!
Ascension of the Flesh is awesome!
No more potions for him.
I want to pick up I'm going to leave my sword buried into the crocodile's head.
Okay.
I'm going to go over and pick up a couple pieces of the chalk.
All right.
And then I'm going to go to the stone, the half circle of stone.
Okay.
And go to the picture of the Zolgoth. And does it look like, the picture, does it look like any Zolgoth in particular?
It looks like one you know very well.
Oh, perfect. So I'm going to take the chalk and I'm going to draw.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
It gets really quiet. Really quiet.
Even Toka's like,
Toka kind of stands up a little bit, holding onto his chair at the same time.
And I'm going to draw on eyebrows.
A little goatee.
A little smiley face, maybe etch out one of the teeth. And kind of not super rude, but not super awesome either. And I'm gonna stand back and admire my handiwork. And then I'm gonna go up to it and throw my body against the wall and kiss it.
Okay.
Wow.
There is silence, and then one head turns over to Toka, and then another, and another, and another, and all the Zolgath look over at you, Toka.
Toka immediately, actually slowly in concern, starts to apply some sort of chalk to his eyebrows. This is the new thing.
Oh, he's covering it.
I just made this thing now, so he's
There's other Zolgath looking for chalk themselves. There's 10 people that are now doing it.
Find chalk. This is fashion. This is what fashion is.
He's trying to bash out a tooth.
It's going to be a rite of manhood now to have one of your teeth knocked out.
Solarsith, the lady, comes over and does that Academy Award ushering you off the stage thing, Iggy.
Oh, I'm done?
They play you off.
His beauty and his grace.
I'm gonna go get my sword, retrieve my sword, and then I'm gonna pick up the jawbone that I cut off of the crocodile earlier and take it with me as a trophy.
Ooh, they respond to that well. You come back up looking all war painted and your hand covered in blood from holding on to this jawbone.
Gets a crisp high 10 from Idrisil.
Solarsith crawls out to the middle of the arena again and says, Toka, we have time and ready audience and people for challenge now. And she waits for the challenge to be called.
Toka pulls a book from his pack that is hanging very awkwardly at his side. And he puts it on the ground, or on the table very hard, hand over it, covered a little bit in blood now. Knowing! The knowing challenge, referring to the magic portion of the challenge.
All right. And that's what she says. Magic! And the crowd goes, ooh. And then she walks out of the arena and motions towards your area where you all sit.
Xander takes a look at Killian, holds out his hand for a rock, scissors, paper motion.
Magic! Where did he make those fingers come from?
That's funny.
Killian just defers to Xander because that's sort of more his arena than Killian's.
All right.
Perfect. Xander stands up, though you can't really tell, and starts walking down.
and his juggernaut form, his sit and stand are only 2 inches tall.
Yeah, it's a very small difference.
He glides as he...
Xander, this hard, wobbly stepping down with big legs down the stairs before you get down to the arena floor. And the arena is all yours.
Good luck, little buddy.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
And the dogs tear him apart.
And there's more below that.
Small boulder perched on top of a wall. The wall. So this is the one this is the big Zolgath face wall?
Yes.
Is there a ramp that goes up to the top of that, or is it just elevated?
It's just a wall that's out in the middle of the space.
Okay.
Like almost like a wall made for taggers type of a thing.
Got it. Okay. And the boulder's just on top of it?
Yep. Precariously put there.
All right. I'm curious about the 7 Zolgaths standing, each holding a flaming torch. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go to the center of the arena, dead center, like in the middle of where the altar looks like the altar spot was in the image. But
you're close to a bonfire right now.
All right, perfect. I'm great. So I'll be near the bonfire. In fact, can I put the bonfire between me and the boulder?
Sure.
How far away is the boulder at this point?
30 feet.
30 feet. That's just what I want to do. I am going to do an elemental toss into the fire. So I'm literally just going to take a heap of fire of itself and make it expand real fast. So I'm going to make the fire bigger for a hot second, and then I'm going to do a hydraulic push onto the boulder to smack it off the wall.
All right. You do an elemental toss to generate some more flame that comes flying up. As soon as that happens, you launch water through it. And just blast as hard as possible to knock the boulder off. All right, make a spell attack roll for your hydraulic push. Add +3. That boulder really isn't dodging much right now.
Damn straight.
We'll see.
That will make it a 27.
Ooh, that's a glorious hit. What happens to the boulder?
So I could roll damage if I need to, but so I am bright orange. My whole aura glows when I lift the fire up and make it about twice its normal size, and I flip to a blue. So my aura shifts like that, and I push my hands like I'm going to be reaching in and touching the flame, and from my hands, a jet of water just flies out, goes through the flame, and smacks the boulder, launching it off the wall. And if it's as good of a hit as I think it is, it'll throw it off about another 10 feet or so before it just lands and rolls.
Cool. Boom, the boulder lands and it rolls. The crowd is very impressed. There's more cheering and hooting and hollering, and you need to make a performance roll. And it was such a good job. Add +4 to this performance roll.
4 plus that, and my performance makes it a 17.
17. Toka, what's your response?
Toga doesn't see much in the way of magic, so he doesn't say anything until someone's like,
And Toka, as that's happening, the second course of the meal is brought out. What is the second course of this meal?
The second course is a delicacy of fine riverbed lining jelly. The darkest, sweetest, the best.
All right.
Jix throws his face into that and just starts slurping up.
Xander, you return up the stairs, and as you walk up, the effects of your juicing fade, sadly.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Your stirrups are so high. So I always been this high. I gotta sit down.
And you climb back up, and you have rejoined your group. Solarsith, the Lady Zolgath, is out there in the arena. She turns around towards your group and says, Toka, what trial is next? She
Toka
glares at you, Idrisil, by the way.
Toka makes his way to Idrisil.
Ooh.
Idrisil, can you tell me if there's any like metal objects lying around, like anything shiny or?
Not lying around, but there are old-fashioned torch-type stands that go about 8 feet tall that have flat things you could put like embers and stuff on top of. Does that help at all?
Well, Idrisil is trying to look into a mirror.
You can do something like, you walk over and rub some of that with your sleeve and look in it.
Completely ignoring the challenges. Idrisil's just looking at his muscles in the mirror and just checking out. Oh, thanks a lot
Let
for
this
this,
god
Jax.
thing really go to his head.
Oh, appreciate this. Wow. Oh, yes, Toga. Sorry. Yes. How can I help you?
Spirit, I must entreat you to the next challenge.
As you will.
Ah!
And he picks up something and throws it at Silithus. Or Solarsith.
Speed!
And she claps motions for you out there, and Solarsith says, Speed, agility, challenge! And the crowd cheers even more now that the demigod High Spirit is taking the arena.
Instead of walking down the ramp, he just jumps off the precipice.
All right, and as soon as you hit the ground, the effects of Jix's potion wear off, almost as though you intended that.
Aww. Aha! And just raise a hand up into the air.
Toka walks down and stands on the field, the arena with...
in case the beheading thing. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. Keep going. Weedersill, what's your plan of attack?
Idrisil looks around the arena. He looks at the audience, the people. Where is the net? What is the net? How is it set up? Is it like hanging above, like in that cave before?
Nope.
Is it?
It's on the ground, laid out perfectly flat. It's like a fisherman's type net, a little more rugged.
Catch those dogs.
Catch those eels.
Catch the eels. Yay!
Catch the 7 seal.
So
I have plans for them.
Idrisil is going to do a couple of things at once. First, he's going to set a hunt prey on one of the 5 barrels.
Okay.
You're going to do what now?
I'm going to mark one of the barrels as my prey.
Oh, this is an ability thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it gives me which gives me a proficiency bonus and stuff.
Can you do that?
If I can't, it doesn't really matter. It's just for
It's a god thing,
It's for
Tom.
the eye
Just-
effect.
Okay,
It's just for the eyes.
Officially, it's for a creature, but keep going.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to quick draw my weapon and shoot all 5 of the barrels.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to run and jump over the 20 feet sticky goo.
Okay. So you quick draw your bow instantly and fire off 5 shots.
5 shots.
Make 2 rolls for overall shooting this with your full +8 modifier, I believe you have.
I'm going to use a hero point.
Oh God, they were not good.
3s who got lose their life.
You're the god after all. You can't fail in front of them.
It's a little bit better, but I have to use it anyway. So I got a 10 and I got a 20 on natural.
Okay. With a total of 10, you shoot and you miss. You shoot and you miss. Doesn't look good at all. I'm not sure how you're playing that off. But then you fire 3 more shots. You hit the one on the left, the one on the right, and then the barrel in the middle. And then you start running and gaining as much speed as you can, and you're heading towards this green sticky goo. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, this goo is super duper sticky. This distance you're trying to cover is really far. You've got to get as close to the edge as you launch off as you possibly can. Yep. You go running like crazy. You plant your foot right at the edge and you throw yourself forward. Make an athletics roll.
Killian, two Goldie doesn't make it.
I'll take those odds.
I'm going to use another hero point.
Come on, Idrisil.
Burning him hard.
Just
This is for his blasphemy.
acrobatics instead, you know?
You can do acrobatics.
Okay.
Have to take
It's a
it.
natural one.
Oh my God.
Of course it is.
Blasphemy.
Of course it is.
You in slow motion, you plant that big important foot down right into the super sticky goo, and you throw yourself up and you don't get any verticality at all.
Nope.
And you go forward as far as your body will let you bend, and you collapse face first into the goo, and you are stuck there planted in the ground, and you can't move.
And this is how we die.
Jix watches that and he just says,
That's the only sound you hear that breaks the silence.
I like the slow pan across the faces of Xander covering his mouth, Killian covering his ears, Iggy covering his eyes, and Jix just like, ha!
What's Toka's response to this?
Togo's response.
Oh my God.
He waves Slurth.
She comes over. They have a sidebar. There is an official Ascension sidebar.
just need to review the call.
She gets out the rule book.
The only sound in the arena is a very muffled.
They're checking the instant replay on this play.
I knew it was
Toga keeps looking back up at the lesser gods,
Yeah.
and seeing one of them laughing hysterically. Whispers back at Silurith and tries to explain to Silurith that this is the god trying to appease us with humor. This is not an attempt at agility.
This is lies. This is false gods. I've told you.
It's not false gods. You saw the arrows, the strength, the magic.
Toga's trying to push him with his other foot out of the goo.
Give me the word, and I will slay him.
I do not give the word. Pull him free. Try again.
She comes over and she leans over close and she starts.
Toga approaches the crowd
Okay.
and speaking in the language there, trying to convince them that this is the god trying to be kind to us and being friendly. For sheer speed is not for the eyes of the Zul god.
All right. Make a performance or diplomacy roll, your choice.
Well, 13?
13. The crowd kind of believes it. They're not too sure. They're not as excited and clapping as you would expect. Solarsith is next to you, and she is spitting and hawking up stuff all over you, Idrisil, and it's somehow a solvent and from her body that is letting you start to move your arm, and she is pulling you out. She's very close to the back of your head. She says,
I know your lies, and I will run my spear through your heart before this day is done.
Get up! And she pulls you up. There's a terrible ripping sound as what little elven hair on his upper chest and face are left behind.
Freelancing at least.
You've invented elven flypaper, and
It's like this black charcoal mask.
you are lifted up, and what do you do or say?
I just start wiping some of the stuff off. And I lean down in, pick up one of my braids, and try to rip it out of the ground. Just use some of the stuff and just put it back on my hair.
Toka again advances on the crowd. The challenge! Agility! And
Yay!
Oh, yeah, good job.
It's like your mom overselling the performance at the school play type thing. Solarsith doesn't help you off. She says, there is two trials left. The next trial, the trial of courage. And the crowd cheers, courage, courage. Well, they don't know that word, but yes.
I can do that.
Bravery? Yeah, you want to do that?
Sure.
Balls! Okay.
Translation.
Jix begins to stand up and then...
You guys both can go if you want.
Nah, I like the idea of just one of us doing it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what the next trial is, so
I don't either.
do you want to roll for it?
No.
Okay.
You want to do it? Go for it.
Killian will go be courageous.
Killian, you head down. You pass by the
Sunken-headed Idrisil.
baby smooth Idrisil.
Killian disapprovingly shakes his head and just mutters the word blasphemy under his breath.
Okay.
As he passes, I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean to. The stuff wore off as quickly as it came.
Ascension of
Can I borrow one of your hero points? And Killian, you're out there. Got a safe face.
Let us
Because
pray
since he
that
left
he
his
does.
out there.
He walks right by the face print in the mud.
right.
Disappointed, shocked.
All right, so courage. I am going to walk and I'm like cool as ice the whole time, just walking in this slow,
As we all know
methodical-
Killian to be, yes.
This slow, methodical pace, walking straight up to the 7 Zolgoth standing in the corner, each holding a flaming torch.
Okay.
Once I get there, I look each in turn in the eye, and then I reach out and I pull out my ever-burning torch
Okay.
and open it up so that it burns, and I hold it up, and then I motion for them to each like
They hold up their torches
okay,
high.
and I like wave it,
They wave their circle around
and
their
then I
heads.
bring mine down, and then I just stick my hand like straight into the flame,
Oh!
and I just stare at it. Just my hand just in the flame, and I'm just like giving them like the most intense look.
Okay.
And I'm just like, "Arr."
None of them do anything until the guy on the right does it, and he winces and he starts hissing. The others start joining. The third one has to stop immediately. The fifth one just throws his torch without even trying it. There's a couple that are holding it. They're essentially trying to outlast you like crazy. And can you describe exactly how much damage your burning torch does to you?
It does 0 because there is no heat,
No heat at
produced
all.
from it.
It's fantastic.
It only
That's really great.
That's really super clever.
And they're trying to hold out as long as possible.
And just the calm as ice look is like in Killian's eyes, like, you know, there's nothing in the world that could bother him right now.
There is one guy, the lead guy, who gives you this look, this little Zolgoth look of, I'm not stopping, I'll go down in flames. And he almost does.
And Killian just looks at him like pitifully, like, oh, I'm so sorry about your luck.
Finally, he throws it. He's the last one. He hisses. His wrist is on fire. His arm's on fire. And he goes running to the channel to plunge his arm into the running
Killian
water.
spits on the ground, turns around, and walks away.
No need to make a performance roll. You get a massive cheer from the audience.
It's amazing.
They are extremely impressed. Toka, what is your response?
Toka's still looking at Idrisil, shaking his
I can only cover so much.
You didn't see one thing. You're just staring at
trial of courage.
Idrisil just went right back to the mirror, but now he's just standing in the corner. Watching sad.
No, Toka gives the big cheer, but very concerned with Idrisil and where he's at right now.
Okay. Solarsith steps out and she says, "The arena trials are done. Return." And she waves her hand to the audience, and the audience kind of cheers. Some do a little chatting in their little draconic language. They seem particularly excited about the last one that really got them going. And as they start to part, she turns to your group in that main king-like section of the theater stands there. She says, "The arena trials are done. There is one last trial of the Ascension." And she walks out and she leaves. All of the people start to scatter. There are just a few guards that remain around these stands, and then Toka.
What is this last challenge, Toka?
I killed Killer.
Did we not complete all of your tasks?
There is
Kind of.
one more.
And he looks.
All eyes turn to Toga.
Toga looks at everyone.
You have brave people.
Eyes to you.
Very brave people. But there is one more challenge, and that is the caves. And that is where we must go. If you are ready, High Spirit.
What is in the cave?
Darkness.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
Very well.
Things that hunt the Zukoth. You will go. I will go with you. We will have the High Spirit with us.
Yes, the agile high spirits.
Will you be more of a support?
Hey, Toka, I have a question for you. Your people, the Zolgoth, you had a friend of ours, a giant, tied up. Why would you do that? Outside of your caves, outside amongst the clouds and the stars in the sky.
We can't have giants running around in here.
He's not. I mean, I know he's a giant, but he's not a bad one.
I only had a few of your kind.
Well, giants hate
If we complete this trial, will you make a promise to me to leave him alone?
You complete this trial and I leave.
Where are you gonna go?
To the depths.
Are you coming down are you going to the caves with us?
Yes.
Can you handle yourself?
He kind of hisses and contorts a bit into this kind of sideways S as he very quickly draws his sword, slashes about a bit, and resheathes it.
So Larsith has appeared in this area, and she brings your metal shield, which is extremely rare in this hide club community. And she also has some armor. What kind of armor do you wear? Is it like hide type stuff?
It would be probably modified with the scale and
like metal attachments and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, random bits, things, the inedible stuff that comes down becomes the armor.
She brings the royal armor then and helps put it around you.
It's like someone's in sign as part of the back and, you know, that kind of stuff. But the shield is legitimate. It's a real shield.
She says, "You will go with Toka to slay the burning hag once and for all. And we will remain here." She doesn't seem happy about it. "And if you defy these, if you betray Toka, then we will know you are filled with lies." She looks at Idrisil in particular.
Toka steps into that view. and says,
May the High Spirit have mercy on you when I return.
and Toka begins to lead the way.
All right.
Before we walk out, I want to, Iggy wants to go up to Solar Seth and
Solar
No one. I was the word. Another terrible name.
gonna do like a humble bow
All right.
in front of her and offer her the crocodile jaw.
She takes it and she plants a hand upon your shoulder in some sort of sign of respect.
This is for you.
And you're married now.
Yeah, I know.
Toka takes you out of the arena and guides you through the underground section of the city until you start to walk up another wide ramp of stone, taking you up to the city streets proper. You have now risen to a level deep underneath the ground that is inside a cave that is the city of pale blue stone. The cave is half a mile wide. You can see not tall, but far buildings in the city that stretches across the whole bottom of the cavern due to the bioluminescent flowers that grow in different sections of the buildings and on the far walls. The stones are very smooth and it's very quiet as you walk, and you are being led by Toka, and you are followed by several guards, and they kind of trail the group as though they're going to follow you for a bit, but maybe not. You're not quite sure what's going on there. And he is leading you towards one section of the wall of this cave, this flat section of a wall of dark brown rock that's all jagged, and he's heading in that direction.
Xander's looking around because he's back in this incredible city. So he's, back full of wonder and amazement. And since we're walking out of the city, just kind of snaps up to him. Toka, if I can ask, what is the Burning Hag?
She is an enemy of the Zogoth.
Why?
She feasts on my kind. She destroys much of what you see here.
And we're up at the blue stone.
You're in the Bluestone City right now.
City.
She defiles this place. This goes against all that is the High Spirit.
I wonder if she's the Swamp Witch.
Maybe. We're very far underground.
Is she down in the caves?
I do not know.
Oh.
She could be anywhere.
He points to the far wall of this cavern where you're heading towards, to something he has called a couple times as you've been walking, a tower that you're heading towards. But what he points to does not look like a tower at all. What you see is a collection of small rooms and constructions that are half built into this giant cavern wall that go up 50, 60 feet up and half stick out. It's like a spire or a tower that's half built into the cave wall and half sticking out. They tend to be rectangular shapes, maybe 15 feet long, maybe 20 feet wide. There's little slits for possible windows or other things, and it just goes up in a line up the cavern wall, and he's taking you towards an entrance at the base of that.
I really want to pull out my ever-burning torch and start poking them with it.
You approach this far wall and you can see this quote-unquote spire that he's taking you to has a entrance at the bottom of an open doorway that's a little tall, maybe 12 foot tall. The doors have been opened, big iron doors. It has kind of a rusty appearance to those doors, but you're still about maybe 100 feet away, because between you and those doorways is a wide channel that's kind of deep, maybe 15, 20 feet deep, and there is water that's moving through this channel. The water is coming from this structure, this vertical structure inset into the wall that you're heading towards. those slits that I mentioned that you thought were windows, several of them, not all, but several of them are pouring out water that cascades down the sides and fall into this wide channel. Some of it doesn't even fall in. It hits this ledge on the far side, so maybe it's not even supposed to design to be doing this. So it's splashing water that then falls into the channel. So you're on one side, and it's about 20 feet in width across this channel, and it goes forever and ever and ever. There's a whole bunch of buildings on your side. You're not sure
You
they're
think you can jump it, eat or sell?
He gets down on all fours like a sprinter and just starts
back and
pump faking back and forth.
pumps his Air Jordans.
He doesn't faint. And
you can see there is some sort of slot in the far wall of the channel that might have held a bridge at some point or had some function. You're not sure, but you are not sure how to get across this particular channel. Oh, and by the way, the water that is coming down here is similar water you've seen since you've been here, which is not the most pleasant. It's kind of brownish green in color. Maybe don't necessarily drink like soda instead of drinking.
Jix takes his canteen and fills up.
Okay.
Jix, you're gonna get sick.
No, man, this is good stuff.
He's already filled his second.
You remember that
canteen.
potion that gives you diarrhea? There you go. Welcome to Mexico.
Beep-a-die! It's Xander! If you want adventures, please drop by patreon.com/ingloriousbards and throw us some gold. We could use someone like you to keep us going. Speaking of which, watch how bravely we handle this!
All right, Toka, you point to the other side. This is where you know that you have sent several of your warriors, your bravest warriors in the past, and they have not returned.
Is there nary a sign of any of these
Warriors?
warriors?
No, but there is possibly a sign who probably you're closest to Idrisil. Idrisil, you can see that Toka has a bit of nervousness about him. You're not sure what the cause is, but he seems just a little apprehensive. You're not good at reading Strange Bizarre Zolgath, but that's your current read on this one.
Toka, how do we get across this river?
We swim?
Idrisil looks at the pace of the flowing water, and he just looks.
The pace is not too fast. The problem is it's about 8 feet down in this channel before the water even began.
He looks over to where the bridge structure was and kind of looks.
You can see above, you're not sure if it was connected or not, but straight above are these arcing stone, just architecture design things that even some of that kind of cross over some of the channel, and some of that water from the far side tower thing actually spills coolly between it. But again, you're not sure if something fell down or you're not.
Didn't somebody have a grappling hook?
That's what I was just about to do. Ignal will pull out his grappling hook and toss it up to those arches.
Oh, okay. You whip it around and you throw it up and you hook it as successful as you think you can around one of those arches.
And I tug on that real hard.
Real hard?
Yep.
Seems totally secure.
Here goes nothing. And
What is he doing?
He'll push his little dwarf feet off and swing across.
All right, you swing across after Toka gives you a kiss on the cheek like Princess Leia, and you go swinging across. Whee! I need you to make an athletics roll, please. You only need to get a 10 or higher.
It's one non-natural 20.
20, that is a critical success. You got 10 over what you needed.
Yeah.
You go swinging across. You actually swing through some of this water just a little bit. It slightly burns at the skin. It's not the most pleasant thing. You swing to the other side. You land with grace, the likes of which the Zolgath have never seen such speed and agility before. You land.
Especially
Agility!
You're the high spirits. You land on the other side, and you still have your rope. Everything seems secure, and you have this big open door also that leads into that area. And then also the ledge that you're on, it's about 15 feet wide. It goes really far both directions as well, but you're not seeing anything else it connects to currently.
Who wants the rope?
I'll go.
5 gold.
I'm good.
Just kidding. And I throw the rope over.
All right.
How would the Zogothi translate this river?
You are not sure. You just sent your men across. They could have just died in this river and never made it inside. You don't know. We can't swim. Go in the door.
Okay.
All right. Jix backs up. He backs up some more. He counts to 3, backs up some more. Don't rush me.
I'll get you.
He chokes up on the rope as high as
On
he
his
can.
tippy toes.
Yep.
And then he goes swinging wide across the channel.
What are we doing? Athletics?
Athletics 10 or higher.
11.
Okay. He swings out and he's not going to make it. And Iggy, you reach out and grab onto his boot.
Got him.
Thanks, Easter.
You're welcome.
Give him a few pendulum moments before you grab him.
My hands are so slippery.
Who's next?
Idrisil grabs the rope when Iggy throws it over and nods at Toka. You're next.
I insist.
He
okay.
pushes the rope at Toka.
All right. God has spoken.
God has spoken. Trying to mimic the position and movement
Of the goblin?
and caring not for the fact that he's weighed down with shield and other metal bits, tries to cross with this moment.
All right. You get your tippy toe action trying to replicate what Jix did. You swing out, make an athletics roll. You just need a 10 or higher.
10 or higher. Well, that's at least a 10 there. 16.
Okay.
You need a higher contrast die. That's
Yeah, you do.
This one.
You swing across, you land with a thud, and you are successfully there. You try not to look too, okay, yeah, thank God. Thank you, Drasil. And you swing back the rope.
Good job, Toka.
I got this one.
Xander just jumps.
That makes it look
The
easy.
rope hasn't even gotten back yet. Make an athletics roll.
That is a 2. Athletics are very low. 16.
16.
Oh.
He still makes it's very gangly and not pretty, but he makes it. There's a lot of unnecessary flailing and screaming. He's like screaming like, I'm falling, and you're just holding on to him and stuff. He has his eyes closed. Go on without me. But you are able to get the gnome aside. Who does that leave back on the original side? Killian and Idrisil.
Tall ones.
Yeah, the tall one.
They step over.
Grabs the rope again. Idrisil grabs the rope again. Are you going or am I going?
I'll go.
All right.
You're a little more athletic than I.
I gotta warm up over here. Starts jumping jacks and stretching.
All right, this is not
Trying to
my
work another hero
forte.
Who's the god? Who's the god?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Killian looks at you, looks across, checks out the door that you're kind of heading towards just beyond the swing.
Just utters blasphemy again.
I can picture this so well.
You swing across, Killian. You land on the other side without stop. You just walk quickly as you land the other side. Let the rope go, and it swings and falls kind of in the middle awkwardly. You walk over to the door, you pull on a lever, and you start to extend a bridge whose controls you just spotted. From that slot on the far side.
I want to make him
You totally can.
No, I won't extend the
you
bridge.
extend it out, and this almost wireframe like just metal framework bridge starts to slowly just crank out from inside the far channel wall and starts slowly grinding and grinding and grinding out, and it extends to the other side and comes to a stop before the high spirit Idrisil.
Idrisil just stretches up, just like, oh, I guess I don't have to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everyone's safely on the other side.
Ignol retrieves his rope and grappling hook.
All right. Make another athletics roll for me.
Done. A non-natural 20.
Okay, you are able to start flipping around your rope, and you are able to get your grappling hook back and your rope, and you guys make your way into this structure built within the cavern wall. Who is in the lead and who is in the rear? Those are the two spots I want to know.
I'll be in the lead.
Iggy's up front.
Toko should go up front.
Okay.
Toka's up
I'll
front.
be right behind him.
Okay, who's in the rear?
Not Jix.
Idrisil will take up the rear.
All right.
Yeah. Xander's right in front of him, but yeah.
You guys walk into this room and essentially go into this area that has some small metal box on the side that has strange circles attached, some sort of machinery. You're not sure of its function. Toka pays it no heed and walks down a couple steps until he enters a room. There is a door at the bottom of these steps. You've only gone down maybe 8 feet or so, and you open this door. The door is slightly ajar, and there is water on this floor. It's about maybe 3 feet of water, and you push and slowly force open this door, and you can see the only way to go is into this room. And this room has several metal boxes that have that are maybe 4 or 5 feet tall. They have different 1 or 2 different levers or knobs and buttons. These are strange machines that most of you from a fantasy world barely have any sense of knowledge of. If you're trained in Arcana, you instantly know these are machines for some purpose. If you're not trained, you just don't know what it is. And if you're Toka, you have just freaking no clue what the heck.
It's art.
Yeah.
Jix is trained in Arcana.
I'm trained in Arcana.
So you don't know what they are, but you just know that they are a machinery, and somehow they function within this building.
So you said there's water about 3 feet.
About 3 feet, there is
Which of us are swimming?
Yeah. Yep, that's going to be a challenge. And then there's a door on the other side that is closed, that is slightly above the water, some steps that rise up.
Toka is pretty much focused on just trying to find some remnants of the Zul'Gath that he's sent before.
All right, you're scanning the water. You haven't entered this room yet. There's no other way to go, and you're not sure how to proceed because you know this water isn't the healthiest of stuff. Water on this side of the cave is particularly bad, and it's gotten even worse in your last few months of interactions with the Burning Hag.
Idrisil, remembering the giant kind of elven statues, is just looking for any remnants of elven culture or artifacts or statues or imagery of any kind.
Make a society roll that's extremely high.
Okay. That'll be a 3.
Okay, you see nothing but squares and shapes.
Glen's trying to figure out the gears to figure out if he can empty out stop the water from flowing.
Okay.
The machinery.
Make an Arcana roll.
15.
You start looking over. You're leaning into this doorway, holding onto some door edge, leaning so your feet aren't touching the water, and you can see no way to make any use of these machines. There's even a couple levers within reach, and they're either stuck in place or they move freely and don't seem to do anything. You guys have a lot of luck with levers.
It's gone so well so far. Levers are great.
You wanna ride, Jix?
Yes. Yeah.
And Jix struggles to get up on your shoulders.
You gonna be all right, Xander?
No.
I'll carry you.
Will you?
Yep.
Really?
Uh-huh.
You guys gotta get into that
baby.
R-rated movie now?
Oh, yeah. We need a big coat.
Trench coat.
What is...
Stereotyping to the
what is Toka's kind of demeanor at this point? He was nervous before we crossed over.
Toga would be concerned and seems to be peering about, scanning the water, and is now starting to wade into the water.
All right. Toka, you take 2 points of acid damage as you start to go into this water. It burns your skin. It seeps through into your armor, and you've barely gotten a few feet, and you take 2 points of acid damage. You can continue further, which will take a couple more rounds, or you can try and head back or do something else. What would you like to do?
I continue further.
All right.
Hissing as I go and sizzling as I go.
You take 2 more points of acid damage, and you are maybe 20 or 30% of the way across this room.
I am prodding about on the floor this distance that I've gone. I try to clamber up onto one of the boxes.
You clamber up on one of the boxes. You are halfway across, and you're on like an island of one of these machines that was built in the middle of this room. You are now no longer burning. Your skin's irritated, but you're no longer burning, and you're perched on this box that has room enough just for you. There's a couple other boxes that aren't too far away, and then the door is maybe another 15 feet away. There's also a couple pipes that are above you, one of which is dripping.
The water is hot. It burns.
Yeah, Jex, you might want to pour that out of your canteen there.
You see Jake's burp and a little bit of steam comes out.
It comes out of his tracheotomy hole there.
Yeah.
Uh,
So there's pipes up above.
Yes.
Could we potentially tie ropes to that? Like travel through there?
Or Ninja Warrior cross.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
Because it works out so well for all of us.
I'll do it.
You don't have to.
Mr. Natural's running.
You'd have to.
What's the plan? You've got a Zolgath stuck in the middle of the room, and then you've got a goblin on top of the dwarf right now.
and I'm gonna grab Xaner and like try to, if I can. I feel like my shoulders are pretty broad. May not be tall, but if I could have each of the little guys like perched on a shoulder.
You can. It will be challenging, but you can.
And I'm gonna wade into this shit.
Okay.
What if we try the old grappling hook around one of these pipes again?
That's the evil demon on your shoulder. Doc.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing fine the way you are. Don't let yourself get stopped.
We can.
You can do anything you want to do.
No, you're gonna shut the
I believe in you, and you believe in me.
I don't want to get burned.
I don't want to get burned.
Not knowing what to do, I just wait. I'm like, "Rah!" and I wade into it.
Okay, you're going all the way across with these guys?
Yep.
All right. Jix and Xander, you guys take absolutely no damage whatsoever. And Iggy, you take 10 total points of acid damage by the time you get to the other side. You guys, Toka, you're kind of, the common language, but you've not heard these new curse words that are coming from the dwarf. So you're learning some new things. You arrive at the other side, Iggy, and there's the door here. You need to force it open with an athletics roll to bash it. You will succeed in getting the door open, but if you fail the athletics 16 to open it, you have to step down into the water to force it. So good luck.
A natural 20.
You smash open the door, you lean, and the door door comes in, and you lean out precariously, throw out a hand, and pull Toka to safety as you leap him across the water. And you got
meant for this.
You got a whole bunch of people safe on
We
the other
got all
side.
the little guys are across.
All right, come back and get us now.
Do
You see
I
any levers over there?
Yeah, exactly. Do I see any lever or anything that might like drain this room or
You
do
see
anything?
You see this door opens up into a very narrow and tall corridor. This door opens up. There's a wall immediately on your left, and then a wall right in front of you that you would have to go side scooting, and it goes to the right about 30 feet, and it's 20 feet tall. It is a weirdly compact space, and there are 1, 2, 3 doors on the far wall that's just a couple inches away, if that makes any sense at all. That's what you're facing right now.
How high are the pipes off the ground that lead across the room?
It's a shallow, low room ceiling. So you could jump up and touch them, but these little guys can't.
All right, I'm gonna jump up and grab a hold of the pipes.
Okay.
Try and avoid where it's dripping, and try to get across.
All right.
Make your way across.
Make an athletics roll.
Again,
Killing the cleric.
not my forte.
Killing the cleric
Ninja warrior
/
across.
ninja warrior.
Couldn't do a nature roll.
Okay, stop making that hand movement and roll the damn dice.
I'm gonna use a hero
What'd
point.
you roll?
Natural 1. I'm gonna hero point that.
You got a good mouthful before you load.
8.
An 8.
That's all you have? No modifier?
No.
Killian, you go across. And you start flagging with your muscles as you start to get about halfway. And then you're doing that ninja warrior thing where you start to slow down and your fingers start sliding down and you hook up again and everyone's holding out for you. And then finally your muscles give and you splash in and you take 2 points of acid damage and you're only halfway across.
All right. Can I get up on like a bar or something?
You were able to
Like the
climb up to
machinery?
the very machine that Toka was once at.
Can I jump across?
You've got your friend Iggy there to help out.
That'd be
Make
great.
one more athletics roll.
Yay.
Just roll a 13 or higher and you take no damage whatsoever.
Is there an alternative?
Don't
Waiting
roll a
right
13.
Yeah, 14.
Start a civilization on the box.
How much damage will a 9 get me?
You splash on the last few steps that go up to that final door and you take 2 more points of damage.
Lovely.
Idrisil, that's how it feels.
Idrisil, you're the last one. You're on.
How far would one have to jump to
Too
make
far.
it across?
Yeah, it's too far to jump across. You can leap to machine if you want to try that.
We want to try that.
Okay. Idrisil leaps over to that middle machine, make an athletics roll.
Oh, I didn't know that was an option.
That would be a 11.
11, and you hit the machine hard and dip 1 foot into the acid. You land on it, but you do take 1 point of acid damage, and then you've got to perch, hunker up those thighs, and leap across again. And what was the roll you had to make, Killian?
13.
13.
13 or higher?
You go flying towards Iggy at the door. You're the last one.
Oh, but 15.
And you land safely. He pulls you in with a bit of a hug, and everyone is crammed into this steps leading up to the doorway and this cramped space just beyond.
The mighty god made it across. No bridge this time.
You see there are 3 doors that your faces are almost pressed against as you move into this space, and you kind of side shuffle to the right to move anywhere.
Jix, unfortunately, was facing the wrong direction when they began to shuffle.
Go back, I have to turn around. And the first door is very rusty, and there is a not so pleasant aroma coming from it. The second
So
door,
let's go to the next door.
the second door has some damage to its handle lock mechanism that's been melted away. You're not quite sure what's going on there. And the third door has another smell beyond it that smells like rotting animal carcasses.
I don't like any of these options.
I'm hungry.
Toka starts pawing and trying to open the third door.
Okay. You start pawing at the third door and you are able to open it, and it opens up into a small room. In this room, it is relatively clean room. There's no dripping liquid at all. You see there is a bucket in one corner, and there is and there's actually clean water within that. It's not the weird brown greenish stuff. You see there is a collection of 2 rotting bodies of Zolgath in the corner. Mr. Smells Good, I'm Hungry. And they are just
Don't
unceremoniously.
judge me.
You don't know
my ways.
My ways.
And they are wedged
cultural.
into a corner of this room. And there is also a little bed mat type thing on the ground made of like carpeting type stuff that's been woven together.
I go over to check on the bodies of the two Zugath.
All right. They are your two warriors that you had sent a week or 3 ago, and they lay dead there. Their clubs are here. Their spears are gone. Their harnesses are still on them, so they weren't necessarily stolen from or looted. And they also have been make a nature or medicine roll, your choice.
Can Jix go and look at him too?
Yeah, Jix, you come splurting 14. Out the tight area. 19?
14.
14. They look to have been eaten, partially eaten.
He said he was hungry.
I sneak a bite.
You always were my favorite.
Having seen the damage done to them, I start to check up and over me.
Okay.
See if there's anything there.
You look up and over. It is tall, just like the little space outside. It's about 20 feet tall, but you see nothing but smooth walls and one pipe that's above. And a smaller brass pipe that looks a little bit different, but you can not even reach it or barely see it.
Does it transect the wall, or does it go over a partition?
It goes into the wall and through both of them go into holes in the wall.
It just looks at the second door and tries to open it and just presses on the kind of burnt lock and sees if it clicks or if anything happens or if it just opens.
All right, you push it. There's resistance. You look through the damage and you can see that there's some sort of mechanical action. And you think if you did some work on that door, if anyone had any thieves' tools, you could mechanically open it, but forcing it will not work.
Yeah, so he kind of tries to budge it a couple times, but he lets someone else take a crack at it.
All right, Jix, you had spilled into the third room. What are you doing?
I was just gonna kind of look around and see what the smell was.
Okay, the smell is of death.
When I noticed that it is a couple of Toka's people, my appetite goes away.
Oh,
and I walk back out into the cramped hall.
Hey, what do you see there at your cell?
It doesn't seem to open. I think someone burnt the lock.
Why don't you let me have a hack out of here?
And I take out my thieves' tools.
I spread my legs and he walks right under the...
It's a bit of a challenge because you were in the rear, so you have to start squeezing back.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Killian then has to start going back. Xander has to... It's just a mess.
I get pushed up against the door. No, other way.
And finally, Jix, you are at the second door.
Let me just say something. You guys need to take hygiene a little more seriously.
That's rich coming from you.
What the hell are you talking about?
Just saying.
Jix pulls out his thieves' tools.
All right.
And tries to work on this lock.
Make a thievery roll.
With 18.
18. You start jiggling your little thieves' tools in there, and you got the two different pieces, and you start twisting, and then there is a click, and you have unlocked the door. There's no handle or anything it's stable, so you just start pushing, and it swings open with a loud creak. Inside is another small room. In here, there is a pile of iron. It's like a lump of molten iron that's cooled, that's on the ground, that you think might be worth a little bit of money to anyone who's would value that, although it does weigh about 20 pounds or so. So you do see that. There's no other way out of this room. You do see in here, there is also a small little hammer that is laying on the ground. It looks like some sort of craftsman type hammer next to this iron lump. And there is a small piece of a conical brass with glass circle at one end and a glass circle at the other, almost like a mini spyglass. Who had the spyglass? Iggy. So it's almost like that.
Mm. I pick up the spyglass.
Okay.
Kind of take a look.
All right. It appears as though it's something you can look through, and it slightly magnifies a little bit what you see.
Look at the iron with it.
Can I want to look kind of up and around. Is there any windows or anything in here?
You look, there are no windows. This place is claustrophobic. The walls are stone, but these are black stone that's very oppressive and larger size compared to the nice smaller bluestone avenues you've been walking along before. There are no other ways out. You still see those pipes I had mentioned earlier. You also extend into this room high above.
This isn't the same type of stone that Killian might have seen in the temple, or is that like a weird magical kind of glowing?
The hunk of iron?
No, like the stone itself. Is it?
No, you've not seen this type of stone.
Wallstone.
Is
Hey, which one of you guys can maybe cast a bright light in here?
Bing! Killian.
Killian goes bang.
I take the spyglass and I turn it small end towards the lump of iron.
Okay.
And
Hey, Killian, come put your light at the end of this glass.
Killian will do so.
All right. You put your light next to the glass. You can see there's a slight bright amplification from the light through that little brass device onto the lump. And you don't see anything unusual, though, with that, Jick.
okay.
Flip it over.
Oh, Jix flips it around.
You kill everyone the beam touches. You cut
The world in half.
Jick quietly leaves.
Blows 3 times his size.
There is no effect either when you flip it over.
Well, thanks for nothing.
Idrisil, now in the back, kind of nudges Iggy. Hey, open the first door.
Which is what I was about to do. So
All right.
I'm going
Have
to
something
go
to
up to the
that.
rusty door.
You open the rusty door. It opens with a loud squeak. You see this is a, say, 8-foot by 16-foot chamber, also 20 feet up, also has those pipes. It also has another pipe coming out of the ceiling that extends just a few feet, 20 feet above, and it is dropping into the middle of this room, a horrific fecal matter, sewage-like stuff. And this room has a perfectly square pit that cuts the whole middle section, essentially has a little ledge on your side, ledge on the right and left side, and a slightly bigger ledge on the far side, where you can see there's a metal desk with some accoutrements on it that's bolted into the floor, and there is a door on the other side. Yes, that is correct.
I'll go up to the desk. What's on it?
All right, Iggy's exploring that. Anything else anyone else wants to do?
Toga would like to try to ascend or shimmy the wall in the room that he's in to get up to those pipes to see if there's anything with that.
All right, make an athletics roll.
Athletics roll is 25.
Ooh, you are climbing up and up. You're doing that foot pressed against one side, hands against the other, and you reach the top, and you are not seeing anything out of the ordinary than these pipes. But then something odd happens, and we'll go back to Iggy. Iggy, you...
Damn it.
You are over at this desk. You can see there is a shovel that's on there, like a little spade that is covered in weird fecal matter. Behind you, you hear another loud plop, and there is weird goo. There's weird floating pale hunks of things, like some sort of doughy flour that's solidified, that's floating in it. You do see there's a door on your side. There is also an old book that's underneath this desk as well. Idrisil, make a perception roll. See if you see this.
Idrisil's...
He was right there motioning him to go in.
That's 19.
Idrisil, you see as Iggy is looking around this desk, between him and you is this like mud sauna type thing of fecal matter. You see a small, pale, very small little hand float up to the top. 5 fingers just floating up to the top.
Like made of the mud, or
No, just some pale, like if Jix went totally pale on you one day, his
in
little
between
hand, just in that
There's
little
like a
sludge
trench
stuff,
in the middle.
some
Yeah.
dead little thing just floating, some hand. But it doesn't look human and it doesn't look Zolgath either.
Iggy,
But it definitely looks fecal.
What?
turn around.
I turn around.
You turn around, you see that little hand, and above it, if you will, if something were laying flat, you see a little bit of a nose and two eyes that kind of come floating up out of this horrific gunk, and it smells really bad in here. And the eyes blink a little bit.
Oh, God.
Imagine a very white pasty golem.
Xander's been outside of the room, kind of looking in throughout.
Oh my god! Why, this smells so much worse!
Jix, I think your sister's over here.
It just so like turns to the side so Xander can see inside the room.
Jix actually, at hearing that, races into the room.
My sister?
You go running in, make a reflex saving throw, please, as you go precariously near the edge.
18.
18, and you stop yourself before going in, and you can see this strange, pale, hairless creature just kind of floating on its back, becoming more and more visible, floating in this horrific mess. And anyone who's there in that room, Idrisil, Jix, and Iggy, you are all have the sickened one condition while you remain in this room.
I yell at Iggy.
You pig fucker, don't you ever joke about my sister again.
These might be out of order because they fell on the ground.
Sorry. It looks a little bit like you, though. It could be your sister.
You see it blink,
Shut your mouth.
and it's alive, and it dips its head back down in when it looks over and sees you, Iggy. And then you see it top of its head appear at the top of this gooky stuff. And it starts to slowly make its way over the top of the head over towards you, Iggy, as it's swimming underneath this stuff.
Am I within attack reach?
Attack with your weapon, it would have to be a bow. You're about 15 feet away. You're on the other side.
50?
15.
Oh.
I would wait. It seems friendly.
All I want is a hug.
I don't know if it does seem.
Do I get any effect from having my iron gut?
Your iron gut? Yeah, you are not affected by it at all.
Okay.
Iggy, you see this thing getting closer? Are you doing anything in particular?
I'm going to draw my sword.
You have your sword, not a lot of room to use it backed on this ledge, but you do have your sword out, and you see two pale hands put themselves, they're almost like weird long-fingered baby hands come out with very slender, pale arms, grab onto the edge, and this hairless face pull up, and this strange bug-eyed creature comes up, and it looks up, and it says, "Hello."
Hello. I'm Igno.
Back up at the top of the pipe section with Toka, you are in room 3. You have climbed all the way to the top. There is a pipe that is nearby you, and you can hear it's had a little bit of rushing water sound, but the brass smaller pipe you can hear some sort of words being spoken, as though someone is communicating through tube, and you can't quite hear what it is. But you can make a perception roll right now.
Oh, I'll be doing that. Perception roll, eh? Okay. Is... What do I got here? A 9.
Never mind. You're totally fine.
Am I able to do hero rolls?
You sure can.
I think I will do a hero.
A hero point. Burning a hero point. Rolling edge. You must take this result.
Just some hair in my ear or something like that.
Yeah, it's still
You
there.
rolled a 3.
That's
then
a
4.
That's a 10.
Okay. You're not sure what to make of it, but you can hear some sort of like voice going through this pipe. You got your ear right up against it.
My response, I start banging on the pipe,
Okay.
and
You guys can all hear this banging. And Iggy, what was your line that you just said to this creature in the other room?
I am Igno. And then I kind of motion to like for an introduction.
All right. The creature pulls itself up onto its belly and stands up just a few feet away from you, slips and falls and splats like a newborn calf on the ground covered in this fecal matter. And then it picks itself back up and it says, I am Ligwy. And it comes close to you and starts sniffing you. You smell different.
You smell terrible.
And he comes close and is reaching out to touch your clothes to feel what they feel like.
Please don't touch me.
Iggy pulls out his sling.
Ooh.
I mean, not Iggy, sorry. Jix pulls out his sling and a rock out of his satchel and just to have it out.
Okay, you got it out.
Xander is mortified. It smells awful. That thing is creepy looking. I do not want to go into the room. So I don't.
And the dark closes softly.
The creature says, what are you doing here? Ooh, there's more. And he sees the goblin not too far away and then covering the doorway is Idrisil.
We're explorers. What are you doing here?
I am an explorer.
Are you? What did you find any treasures down in that lake of shit there?
No treasures. Ooh, no. I know where there's shiny treasure.
Yeah, where's that?
And he points up above to the ceiling.
In those through that pipe? That shit pipe?
No.
So what are you pointing at?
Oh, and he slowly walks over towards you, Jix. And he gets very close. His head gets very close to your head.
You sure it's not your sister?
You smell fragrant.
It's just a little something I just whip up every morning. It's just put a little behind each earlobe and a little under each pit, and good to go.
You feel him lifting the flap of one of your alchemy pouches.
Nope. He slaps his hand away.
All right, you get a little bit of goodness on your hand, but you slap him away. And are you an explorer? And he comes over to Idrisil.
I am a god. A high
Blasphemy! From the other room.
a high spirit of these dungeons.
Make a deception roll of 22 or higher.
Ooh, natural 20.
Natural 20! That was natural 7!
Wow.
Oh, God. We're never going to hear the end of it.
The entire storyline just took a left.
You hear from a couple rooms over.
I told you! This really athletic, agile elf that I made is very diplomatic.
It's truly godlike.
It's his only trait.
Super deceptive.
Ligwy says, "Oh, mighty God, you grace me with your beauty." And he reaches up to caress your cheek gently with the back of his hand.
He just leans out of the way. Do not touch me with your mortal hands.
How can I serve you?
Tell us where the witch is.
The whom?
Tell us where the hag is.
Oh, she is there. And he points up to the ceiling.
So, in the same place as the treasure?
Yes.
Do you deceive me?
I would never deceive a god.
He, just puts his hand on the hilt of his sword and, gives him a very stern look.
Don't slay me, God! No!
Don't trick me.
There's no tricks.
Face him, you smell.
Ask him how to get there.
Ask him how to get there!
Would you lead me and the Zolgath to the treasure and to the hag?
Yes!
Better not be a trick.
There's no tricks. I serve.
And he looks kind of past him at Iggy to see Iggy's reaction to all of this.
Iggy was busy bending over to pick up that old book.
So he just looks right at Iggy's butt.
See some deep
Give
crack.
a little wiggle.
The butt winks at you knowingly.
That brown eye winks.
The creature, Ligwe, says, and he's quite naked, by the way.
Yeah.
Says,
Come with me, O master. I will show you. Come with me.
and he walks past Jix, stops, and then goes, blah, and races at you, Jix, a few feet, and bites at your neck badly with little fangs and tries to tear your throat out with a 19 to hit.
That just hit.
Oh, gets through your armor just barely and does 5 points of piercing damage with his teeth that latch in and bite in.
Just shit.
And it's just grabbing and clawing, just essentially like climbing onto your chest and mounting you and just diving into your throat.
Fighting him.
Idrisil quick draws his greatsword and strikes this thing.
You don't have a great sword. You have a short sword.
Short sword,
the
sorry.
opposite of a great
better not miss.
Just to be clear.
It's a very shiny, cool sword.
You better not miss.
All right. Well, you don't have quick draw on
There
that
will
one,
just
so you're
be
going to
two of
draw
you
it.
then.
Jix, you were being attacked. You have a sling in your hand.
I have a sling in my hand.
Yeah.
I don't know
Why
what
don't I
good that's going to do. Okay.
You have quick draw for the bow.
It just says any weapon.
Does it
It
really?
says a weapon,
You draw your weapon. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's insanely.
non-specific weapon.
Do you realize your guy's style? You just walk into every fight with no weapon ever.
Yeah.
You just stand there. Your first round, you just, oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
I thought it was bow only.
Can Jix go first? Please.
Yes, Jix is attacking you. Go for it.
So yeah, Jix does have the sling in one hand. What he does is he drops one end of the sling, grabs it with his other hand, and attempts to like strangle.
Oh, all right.
What's his name? Ligwe?
Ligwe.
Attempts to strangle Ligwe and get him like in a submission.
All right. Do you have an unarmed fist attack at all on there?
Do think 15.
15. You're able to grab it and you start strangling it and do a d6 of suffocations type damage, please.
4.
4, and you're choking. And it's continuing to try to bite you before it gets to go. There was some crazy awesome quick draw of a short sword by Idrisil.
Yeah.
You race across the few feet to get there, and you may attack this thing, and you have +2 as it's slightly immobilized by the choking.
Flanking, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely flanking.
That's a +10 for those just listening.
It is.
With 19, so that'll be 29.
29, you get a critical hit on this beast.
Thank
That's
God.
2d6 plus. What does PS mean?
Piercing or slashing.
Okay, 2d6 plus 2.
Do piercing. Maybe you'll go straight through.
5, so 7.
7 points of damage. You slice into this creature and you slay it. And it has like maybe 1/2 of a hit point left, which is choked out of it
Why, God,
by
have you forsaken me?
by Jix, and the creature dies, and it looks up at you, Idrisil, still believing you to be a god of gods. And it hits the ground, slaps the ground with its naked body. Half of it hangs off, and then it slowly rolls back into the sludge. And you look across the way, and you see Iggy just still thumbing through a book nonchalantly.
Glance up. What?
Thanks for all the help.
You took care of it.
I think I know where we need to go now.
Yeah.
Toka, you have found nothing else of interest up in your climbing spot.
Even giving the pipe another listen.
You bang. There was a pause in the sound, and then it's you heard something. You're not sure what it is. You banged again, and then no more sound.
I descend and look for the rest. I look for my god.
You find your god holding a bloody sword next to Jix, the goblin, who's got a bloody neck, and you're not sure what altercation happened.
Like him anyway. Well done. I serve you.
Toka, what was all that banging around we heard over there?
Oh, I thought I heard something. Something in the pipes.
What did
We
you
should
hear?
be careful. There's something in the pipes.
Can Killian have taken the hunk of iron?
It's 20 pounds. It's a little weighty. You want to carry it with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, can it go in my backpack, or can I stick it in Iggy's backpack, maybe?
You can put it in yours. I don't think you're carrying much gear as
No,
it is.
no.
So yeah, that'll work.
You're not going to be encumbered?
I don't think so. Iggy, you find this book. It's very moldy. It's
I'll take it with me.
almost.
Iggy cannot read.
and the hammer.
Oh,
And
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm taking the glass and the hammer as well.
okay, got it.
Iggy cannot read, pretends to like, and then just puts it in his pack. And,
Okay.
Doesn't really let anybody know he has it.
All right.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Directions.
Probably.
Oh, God, it still stinks. Hey, is that a door behind you? Can we get out of
It
here?
is. And I open the door, or attempt to open
All
the
right.
door.
You open the door and you enter another chamber with some steps. And this is a square chamber that is 50 feet tall that rises above you in a perfect square of these stones. This one's even smoother stone walls than the others. And I'm assuming the rest of the group catches up.
Yeah.
The door keeps trying to close. Niggy got to hold on to it, and you see there is some more of these strange machines with levers at the bottom. There's a few that are attached to some of the walls that don't have levers, but they have circles with numbers and stuff on them, which are just pure magic to you.
Yeah.
Do they go to 11?
They definitely do. You don't see another door out of here, and when Xander brings up the rear, screaming due to the smell, he hurriedly closes the door behind so the smell doesn't follow. And Xander, you realize you have closed the door and it is locked behind you.
That's probably okay.
What was that sound, Xander?
I don't know.
Iggy.
Can I, real quick,
Yeah.
retch and try to get rid of my sickened level?
Yes, everyone has gotten rid of their second level after you've spew up some stuff. Toka,
Killian held his breath.
you're
on the whole
fine.
way.
Toga, you look up, you can see 50 feet up, there is a hatch in the ceiling. You don't know what a hatch is.
I don't know what a hatch is.
But you see a door in the ceiling with some weird round irony circle door handle. How's that?
There's irony about this.
We're still laughing.
But don't.
You're just still looking over at Toka, seeing that confused look on his face, also looks up, and there's a door up there.
You also see Yggdrasil right up there, somewhere between you and there is a thin, reflective, magical field of some type. You see it shiny. You can see through it, but it's kind of shiny.
I detected there's magic in this room.
You detect that somewhere within 30 feet of you is magic.
It's a hatch.
A magical hatch.
Wait, that thing's 50 feet high?
Yes.
And you detect within 30 feet?
Yes.
So you're not detecting that thing.
Actually, I now have a reach spell, which means that all of my ranged, this is an area effect, ignore everything I just said.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, still within 30 feet.
Ignore it all.
Iggy wants to go up to the nearest machine and take a look at it.
Okay. You see it has a lever in the middle, and it has two, again, you don't know what these are, but they're circular slider type things with little grooves in them. One on the right side of the lever low, one above it, and on the left high.
I'm going to try the lever.
Okay. You pull the lever, you hear a ka-chunk, and you hear some movement up above, and water starts pouring and pouring and pouring down from above, somehow pouring onto this magical field and spilling down the sides and splashing all over the place. And this is the not so pleasant brownish greenish water, and everyone enjoys 1 point of acid damage.
Is it pouring through the hatch? Did the hatch just open?
No, there's slots that are located on the ceiling right up near that hatch that are pouring this water in, that then spills a few feet onto this field, and that then spills on down.
Can I move the lever back?
Wrong lever, dumbass.
You move the lever back and it does not do anything.
Of course it doesn't.
So the grooves, the grooves you were talking about, is there any movable? Is there any? Do those?
There's a little metal disc.
Yeah.
That can be moved, slid left and right within each of those.
Where's it set right now?
It's sat on the far right-hand side.
I'm gonna move it to the far left side.
Okay, you move it to the far left-hand side, and as you do so, you see there is some movement up above that moves some metal plates that come out of the wall. You're not sure of their function, but they get stuck as soon as they move out. Think of them like metal drawers that are a little bit wide, and they come out from both opposite sides, and they get stuck a little bit as they hit something as they come out. They're hitting that magical field, except it is not a magical field, and they disturb the terrible creature known as a gelatinous cube. That cube then starts to quiver and falls down the entire length of this 50-foot vertical shaft and starts going straight down onto all of you. And I need
How big around
everyone.
is this thing?
What's that?
How big around is this thing?
This chamber is, say,
Just the gelatinous cube.
it's pressed up against all sides of this thing.
Oh, it's big.
It just slid all the way down. This is like a cube of Jell-O that's maybe 30 by 30 that just slid all the way down. I need all of you to make reflex saving throws. You need a 19 or higher.
Oh my god.
Nope.
Oh, that looks so good. Iggy was a 20 and then it rolled off.
I'm gonna hero point that shit.
24 for
Okay,
Xander.
Xander's fine.
7 for Gisil.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Got a
Natural 1 after spending a hero point.
He just opens his mouth.
Spinning two to get a natural
I
one.
used both of mine.
No, you can only you have to take
only
the
do it
second
once.
one.
You have to take that one. Killian, what'd you get?
Like 12.
Okay. And Toka.
Toka got a 22.
Okay, Toka and Xander, you guys are able to throw yourselves up against the side walls and you are not consumed by this thing.
And Idrisil, 28.
You got 28, nice.
I have a hero point. I just heard you use the word consumed. I may go ahead and use my
Hero
other
point?
hero
Good luck.
point. Still fail.
Okay, those of you who failed,
Can I use a hero point?
you sure can. Good luck.
Oh, shit.
Okay, hero points burned plenty.
Hero points.
Everyone who failed, take 4 points of acid damage as you are engulfed by this creature. Except Jix, you had your mouth open in horror as it came down with your critical failure.
So I only take 3.
You take double damage.
No!
8 points of acid
But
damage.
your bad breath is
God.
gone.
So is your tongue and your larynx.
The other 3 of you are pressed up
Did you
against the
pass
sides and you
yourself?
don't take damage.
Okay.
This creature is this huge gelatinous cube. It's almost clear. You can almost see straight through it. And it now has Iggy, Killian, and Jix floating unceremoniously at weird angles and upside down within it. And it's burning away at you guys. And it also, there's a tingling sensation that attacks your body from all sides. I need you all to make a fortitude save, please.
All, or
Just those 3 who were consumed.
11.
Fortitude save against what?
Paralysis.
21.
21.
16.
Okay. And the goblin Jix and Iggy the dwarf, you guys are also paralyzed. Not only are you consumed, upside down, and stuck in this floating Jell-O cube, you are now also paralyzed, unable to move.
I can swim.
And
Killian's trying to swim out.
we are going to do an initiative round, and I wish you all the best. And we have Killian, you're up first.
Killian will wiggle his book and cast healing magic.
Don't waste it yet.
What do you mean don't waste it yet?
I'm just gonna get burned some more.
If you do your healing magic with 2 or more actions, it will require your hands to move, and you have a 25% chance of failing as you're restricted. If you just do 1 action, you can use just a verbal command and you will not have that penalty.
But then that would just be my singular heal.
I'm just letting you know.
And I could only heal myself.
Just letting
I
you
wonder
know.
if I healed inside the gelatinous cube, if that would spread across. I wonder how that would work.
How about your lance?
One way to find out.
I don't think it's evil.
Okay.
The gelatinous cube would have to be.
Jake's thinking it's evil right now.
Huh?
Jake's is thinking it's evil right now.
That's a good question, though. Is the gelatinous cube evil? I will use
My entire action to contemplate the actual.
He can.
I will use an action to try to recall knowledge
On the gelatinous cube.
on the gelatinous cube.
Make an occult or arcana roll.
Would a 15 pass?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Then I will use my assurance
Okay.
and for occultism, and I'll just get 15.
Guaranteed. It is a neutral creature.
Okay.
You have 2 more actions, Killian. What do you want to do? You can also try to escape from this, but it's not easy.
I will cast. Yeah, I'm going to try and escape.
Okay. We do this. Creature, you are grabbed. You were also slowed at level 1, all 3 of you, while you are within this creature, which means you lose 1 action every turn. So you're down to 2 actions instead of 3. You are also having trouble breathing and will start to suffocate. This is a great situation to be in. Did I mention
You
that?
guys are doing great.
Is there one for paralyzed?
Oh, probably.
Okay, you're trying to escape. You need to make a unarmed attack roll or athletics roll to escape.
16.
16. All right, you twist and turn. You try and get a little bit of pressure with your foot maybe against the wall, but you cannot get free, and that is the end of your turn. It is Toka's turn. You are not engulfed by this creature.
I am not, and the door is locked.
Yes.
That's correct. Okay.
Oh, and one more thing. The ground is filling up with acidic water.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Iggy. You did a great job.
Right now.
You can't answer.
I can.
Was the escape counting as like a movement?
Escape is an action.
Escape is
It's actually an
action.
attack.
Okay. All right. I won't bother with that then. Where is Idrisil right now?
Idrisil is very next to you, pressed up against the wall, trying not to touch this, and just jiggling mass. See it jiggle.
With a quick flash of my weapon, I begin to dissect bits of the cube.
All right, make an attack roll and go for it. I think what's your attack modifier?
A 10.
Plus 10 out of the gate.
You want to roll that one?
That was on the edge.
Oh, that was on the edge. A 15.
15 is a hit. What's your damage?
D8 and 4 is 12 points of damage.
Ooh, huge damage. You slice off a chunk of the beast. There's still plenty of it, and you can attack again with your slightly lower modifier to hit now.
I will engage again.
Go for it.
A plus 5.
Wow.
22.
22 is a hit. And what's your damage?
Is same modifier there.
Yep.
Yeah, 7.
7. And what's your third action going to be?
I will, if possible, brace my shield and get this some attention here.
You can. You get your shield ready between you and it, and you see it is slowly trying to wiggle its way towards you in between some of these weird machines on the wall to try and engulf those who are not yet swallowed.
I have its attention, High Spirit.
Xander, you are unconscious upside down. No.
I got away.
Oh yeah, you're against
with Jix.
Jix and you. Yeah. You're
Nobody's
Just
unconscious.
paralyzed.
no paralyzed. We have paralyzed with Jix and
Yeah,
Iggy.
you're paralyzed, but
I got it.
Xander dodge out of the way.
Okay.
And perfect timing. I am going to blast this thing with burning hands.
Okay.
Straight out in front, throw the cone out. It is a reflex save for half damage.
Just how Jix wants to go out
Yeah, right?
with napalm.
Oh, nice.
Reflex save for the creature. It got a 9. It is not very agile.
So not quite a critical fail, but really, really close on that one. For this, which I don't know if that matters for reflex saves. That is a 10.
10 points of burning
Of
damage.
burning damage.
All right. You flash out flame. You scald and burn off chunks. And for a brief second, you see you burn off enough of a chunk for Iggy to take a paralytic breath of air before the stuff reforms around him. That was 10 points of damage.
Yeah.
You have one more action left because that takes 2 to cast.
I'm going to do the same thing that Toko was doing here. I'm going to put an air shield up.
Your magic shield.
My magic shield.
Like,
All right.
You're going to hide behind my shield.
What? Scoot over.
Idrisil. Wow. It was the people who were pretty much most mobile. Idrisil, you're up. What are you doing?
Yeah. So he just was going to look around the room. Are the boxes encased in this thing, like the mechanisms?
Some of them are, some are not. Essentially, the floor and then the wall at different spots, all the way up at different sections, have some of these machine things. The boxes are about 3 feet tall and about 2 feet wide, and they stick out about 2 feet.
Is there a lever on the nearest box to me?
Yes.
I would like to walk up to the nearest box and pull the lever.
You don't even want. You just have to reach because you don't want to step forward at all because this thing is getting real close to your face. Okay, you reach out, you pull the lever, and nothing happens.
Okay, then I quick draw my short sword and attack this thing.
Make an attack, and also the water is starting to rise just up to the top of your
I'm just
boots.
going to use both my actions to attack this thing. Ooh, nice. That's a 27.
27 is a hit.
Is it a critical hit?
It is not. Mainly because there are no vitals on this thing.
Okay.
So that's 3 damage.
Big 3.
Vitals are the people.
You
Right.
stab it gently.
Have it gently.
You have one more action
I'm
left.
just going to use my last action to raise my cantrip shield.
All right, so everyone's shielding themselves afterwards. Iggy, you are paralyzed upside down. You just took a breath. Your turn is over. Make
he has one option:
What option?
recall knowledge.
No, he doesn't. Oh, wait, he does
You
because
can
he's
still recall
paralyzed.
knowledge when you're paralyzed.
Interesting.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sit there and contemplate your choices.
Make Arcana and Occult roll. Twice. You have 2 actions.
3?
No, you're slowed as well. Slow one.
Okay.
A 4
Okay.
and an 11.
Okay. You know this is unpleasant.
Yeah. Sure do.
Your turn is over, but
Really wish you had zipped up your pants.
but you do get to make a paralysis roll. This is fortitude to recover from the paralysis.
Ooh, natural 20.
Nice.
You are no longer paralyzed, but you may become paralyzed again, and you are able to reach out with a hand and start pulling on Jix, and it will give Jix a bonus to maybe snap out of his paralysis.
Okay.
However, before Jix goes, this creature goes.
Oh.
And actually, hold on, back up one step. Each creature that is engulfed also takes. Only Killian, you take 3 points of acid damage, and Iggy, you also take 3 points of acid damage as you're still inside this creature. The creature itself
What about
attacks.
What about Jix?
Jix is last.
No, for the damage.
It's at the end of his turn.
I see.
The creature attacks, and I love the name of its weapon. Its weapon attack is Cube Face. The face of the cube attacks. It attacks once at Toka with a 25 to hit.
Holy crap.
That's a hit, I assume.
Yeah.
All right, it does 2 points of acid damage, and you must make a fortitude saving throw or be paralyzed.
Can I brace that with my shield?
You can. So your shield takes 1 point of damage. You take the other, but you still have to make the paralysis because you did take damage.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still low. So
Now do it then.
I won't do it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a fortitude saving throw to resist the paralysis.
Is pretty high. That is a 26.
You resist the paralysis,
high.
which was an important roll. It then attacks Idrisil. It starts shifting its weight over towards Idrisil, quivering towards you, Idrisil, with a 25 to hit.
That hits.
Am I able to interject or step in the way of
No,
nothing like
higher
that?
levels, I think you can.
Damn.
Idrisil, you take 3 points of acid damage. Unless you're doing something with your shield, unless you want to shatter that shield.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Because there might be another attack
it's 10
coming.
points of damage now. It's level 2.
10 points to the shield is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'll absorb that with my shield.
Okay.
Does that use your shield up?
Yeah, it breaks the shield for any other future attacks this round until he casts
But it stops him from having to cast
Again.
fortitude saving throw. So that's, I mean,
What was the name
that's
of this
probably a
power
smart
again?
move. Face cube?
Cube face, yeah.
Cube face.
Oh, his ability. It was the shield spell. No, it's not increased to 10. It's still the normal level.
But yeah, I'm still gonna.
You gotta be much higher.
Just
level.
throwing pants at you.
Okay, good. You absorb that, and then it attacks the last person who's not consumed by it, which is our good Xander.
It's me.
It only has a little bonus to hit you and gets a 16.
That does not hit. Oh,
Really?
no. That's my AC. That
Oh!
But you have your shield up,
I do have my shield.
so you have +1 to your AC.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, the shield blocks it. Oh, it's pressing up against it like the Jurassic Park monster with the glass. And you do not take the damage. You don't have to make any roll. Great defense. And last up is Jix.
Jix will use both his actions for recall knowledge.
Recall goodness.
So what are my choices? Arcana or occultism?
Occultism.
I took 2.
That's a 13 and a 17.
Okay. You know that it started with 91 hit points.
Oh my god. All right.
You know these things to be very hardy. And then you get to make a fortitude saving though to try and get rid of this paralysis. And you don't roll it yet. You get a +3 from the inspiring efforts of Iggy pulling on you.
Okay.
Good luck.
That's a 25.
25, and you are free of the paralysis, although you are still stuck within the creature.
Yep.
You take 3 points of acid damage. Killian, you are up. You are inside the creature, but not paralyzed.
How many points of damage have we done to it? About 20?
Yeah.
I did 19.
Yeah.
Oh, you did. But
And he did 10, 20, 30.
Oh, maybe
He did
more like
about
50.
Probably closer to 40.
Okay, so we're about halfway there. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
just-
assuming we're doing any damage at all. I don't want to bring that up, but
how close am I to being able to get out of this thing?
Not close at all. You've tried one escape and it did not succeed. You can try again, and an escape is considered an attack. So you can try and escape, and then escape -5, and then escape -10.
Once that thing fell down from the ceiling, did those steel plates finish their motion?
Yep, and it's closed in, and it is the water that is filling up has barely, like 2/3 of the water is falling into these slots and are being somehow diverted out of this room, and 1/3 now is falling in. So the room is slowly filling, but not completely filling. And thank you for reminding me, everyone who is safe from the creature takes 1 point of acid damage as it burns away at your feet and ankles.
Thanks, Tim.
Is the creature
Thank you.
taking acid damage?
No.
No, it's acidic as well.
Why would it?
Why? Why would that be it?
But you sprinkle some salt on it, and it's really fit.
Yeah, really.
Where's the salt?
I have a weird question. So being stuck in this gelatinous thing, would that be attributed to like maybe being stuck in liquid?
Yes, Mr. Underwater Marauder. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, Killian, you're up.
Killian will. Oh, do I heal or try and escape? I think I'm going to try and escape.
Okay, make a that +4
Yeah.
unarmed or athletics.
11.
Okay, you do not escape. Want to try again with a -5?
No.
Okay, you have 2 actions.
I have one
You
action
have 1
left.
action
I
remaining.
fold my arms in protest.
Just want to recall some knowledge again and defeat.
I'll
Yeah.
sit here and think
Go
about
for it.
my choices.
What was my options?
Arcana,
Arcana or occultism.
13.
13. Nope, there's nothing that you can glean from this. Toga!
Okay.
You are outside the creature.
Toga!
Slashing back out. This seems to be. Do I seem to be doing any kind of damage
Yep.
to this thing? All right. I am attacking. And it looks to be pretty successful. It's a 25.
That's a hit. Big hit. This would like slice apart one of those crocodiles that come through your sewer sections in a second. Doesn't do as much to this creature, but it does hurt it.
6 points.
6 points.
Second attack
Nice.
is pretty good. Same 6 points with a 24.
Is a hit. 6 more points of damage. You're hacking and hacking and hacking.
And I turtle up again.
And your shield comes up. Xander.
Xander pulls out a hydraulic push.
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah, that's going to be a big weird. That's going to be weird.
Yeah.
Before we get a little weird, we do have to take a little bit of acid damage for Killian, who's still stuck inside. And Killian, everyone will take 8 points of acid who's inside. For you right now, you take 8 points of acid, Killian.
Whoa.
Why are you looking at me defiantly?
Because it was 3 last time. I was expecting 3 again.
Yeah, so Killian now has 5. Jix is a total of 7 before he takes any damage.
Okay.
So
Xander, what you got?
I'm gonna splash it with water.
sorry, bro.
Big old hydraulic push for it. This is an attack roll.
Don't roll it quite yet. I'm going to give you a +3 as you're not swinging a sword and your hands are already like right up against this thing.
Literally right there.
It's just more of a panicky, can you get the magic off? So big +3. It's the biggest attack modifier I think we've ever added.
Plus it's 26.
26 is a hit.
Yeah. That is. Well, perfectly average. Want to make sure I don't have any modifiers to it. I do
Nope.
not. It looks like so. That is 11 points of damage.
All right, you
Bludgeoning.
blast this thing with huge amounts of water. Essentially, it's just like this huge fire
Power wash
hose that just, power wash, just burning and just wedging into sections. You're trying to make a tunnel to Jix, and Jix, you can breathe again.
Okay. And then drown in water.
And acid.
Idrisil, what are you up to?
Does that cleanse some of the acid off of him?
No.
Idrisil is going
Tried.
to. He's going to hunt prey on the cube
All right, you're able to locate it.
just to get my modifiers up a little bit. And,
The range is 1 to 2 inches, by the way.
and I'm going to swing at this thing with my short sword.
All right. Hunt prey was 1 action. Now you're swinging like crazy.
Yep. Nice. So that'll be a 24.
Is a hit.
4 points of damage.
Okay, that's a cut.
Second attack.
You don't have any plus modifier for your sword?
What do you mean?
Like for
For the
damage?
damage.
Well, +1's 5, I guess.
Yeah, every point counts.
It all
Yeah.
counts.
Yeah, especially with 3
Do
people
not
in the
give them
cube.
Those extra points, please.
I'm happy I'm in there.
It's
And,
it's the cube.
I'm just going to slice and dice one more time for my last attack.
Good luck.
Ooh, I miss.
With what?
It's a 3. It's a 7.
7, you do miss. Inexplicably. You
I feel like it should be like a +10 advantage.
Yeah.
The sword turns slightly and it just
Yeah.
Unless I'm
bounces off.
holding it this way. I don't think I can miss.
I'm thinking you got like your hand, like you're just doing kind of batting with your wrist action. But you did do some damage initially.
Point
Yeah.
of order, real quick. It may not matter, but the hydraulic push, when I deal damage, it also knocks back the target 5 feet. Is that applicable in this case?
Yeah, but you don't want to do that because Toka's on the other side of it
Let's
5
not
feet.
do that.
Yeah.
I renege the knocking back.
All right, Iggy. You are not paralyzed, but you are within the creature.
Yeah, but I have my underwater marauder.
What is that?
ability.
What does that do?
So, I've learned to fight underwater. I'm not flat-footed while in water, and I don't take the usual penalties for using a bludgeoning or slashing melee weapon in water. So I'm going to draw Lucy.
Draw your weapon and automatically.
Sword.
Just move your sword around and
Just by unsheathing your sword. You...
Just sheath and unsheath it repeatedly.
Yep. And then I'm gonna attempt to do damage.
All right,
there.
you get a +2 as the creature is flat-footed in this. While you're inside it,
28
is a hit
for 5 points of damage.
Not a lot for you.
Was
but
it 28? Oh, we'll keep it down. We don't do that.
Yeah.
And I'll swing again.
Okay. Swords out. You're just trying to move it around.
With the 6, I will fail.
A total of 6.
Oh, come on.
Yep.
Wow, that's terrible.
8 with a +2.
The voice so high. Wow, that's
I've seen some bad rolls before. But
that is a miss, and you are still within the creature, and you take damage. What's the damage?
it was
8?
8.
8 points of damage.
Takes him down to
14.
Yeah.
The creature attacks. It reverses its attacks this time, and it attacks Xander first.
no!
With an 18 to hit.
Oh, I didn't put up my shield. That does hit me.
You
It
take
wouldn't matter.
3. No, hold on.
It wouldn't matter.
You take 1 point of acid damage and need to make a fortitude saving throw to not be paralyzed.
I will save with 17.
17. You are paralyzed.
Ouch.
Going back, would I have gotten a roll to get out of there? Or do I have to use
You have to
an action
escape. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you're not supposed to get 2 actions. Okay, Xander, you have been paralyzed, and it then uses your paralyzed situation, which makes you flat-footed, to try to engulf you with its last 2 actions. Make a reflex saving throw and -2 off of it for me, please, as you are paralyzed.
Nope, that's not a 5. That is, what you said, -2?
Yeah.
17.
17, and Xander is consumed, and you are immediately burned.
Welcome to the party.
I don't like your party.
For 10 points of acid damage.
Taking him down to 11.
It's like a gnome jello shot.
Only this point, the jello shoots you.
6, you're up. Are you paralyzed still?
No, I'm not paralyzed. Do
You gotta escape, bro.
is there anything I can pull myself up and out of?
Yeah, that would
Dealing with-
you would be into the escape roll. Yeah,
Okay. And I'm rolling what for escape now?
the attack roll we said before, a +5, or your athletics.
Oh, well, they're the same. So first action, 24.
24. You have pulled yourself out and are clinging to a small metal box attached to one wall that's about 20 feet up, and you are out and clear, and you have 1 action still remaining.
Yep. I yell, "Hey guys, we almost got him. Keep going."
Want to punch it?
With my other action, I'm gonna
Dive back in?
I'm gonna draw out of my pouch a elixir of life.
Okay. You draw it out. You do not take then the acid damage from the creature. Well done. Everyone on the ground takes 3 points of acid damage. That's Toka, Idrisil, and that's it. Interesting.
Water. Interesting.
All right.
I had a quick question. I know I had my shield up and all that jazz, but I am able to take opportunity attacks.
If the creature moves or does some sort of manipulation or does a ranged attack, it's not doing any of those.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's an interesting concept, though. Okay, You're still inside the creature.
I sure am.
You have a few hit points left.
I sure do. And if I use a spell that takes 2 actions, I have a 25% chance of failing.
Yeah, with those actions committed, regardless.
1 and 4.
What do you want to do?
I am going to attempt to... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to self-heal the 1d8, so the single action.
Okay.
7.
7 health to yourself.
Taking me up to 12.
You have 1 action remaining, trapped inside this creature.
Escape.
Okay.
No.
Okay. You do not escape. You do, however, take 6 points of acid damage.
It was 6, which I had 5 before I healed.
Oh,
so
good choices. Toka, what do you got?
I have Adventure Stew in front of me. I will slash out.
Okay, you've been hacking and hacking. You're doing a lot of damage.
Let's see. I am looking at a 19 to hit.
Is a hit.
With 11 points of damage.
Big 11. I'm imagining like some sort of big cube of styrofoam some samurai's just slicing into over and over again.
he slices. He dices.
Here we go. Another attack. With a 15 to hit.
This is the lower modifier. The 15 hits.
Wow.
Nice.
6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. You are carved off sections, and you carve off enough that it kind of, half of it kind of shuffles down and big globs are forming and falling out. How much damage one more time? 6
on the last attack.
All right. What's your last action going to be?
Again, I brace my shield.
You raise your shield. This thing is quivering and it's trying to eat its dinner as quickly as it can now. Xander, you are unconscious or you're paralyzed.
I'm very paralyzed. That's what I have.
Want to recall some knowledge?
Yes, I do. I will.
You got 2 of those.
Think about it real fast. Oh, it could have been really awesome for a second. That is, oh, look, occultism is +1 and arcana is the same. So that's a 9.
Okay, nope.
Cool. I'm going to escape.
Okay, you cannot.
Oh, I can't. I can't even do that.
Paralyzed, yeah.
You can
But I'll recall knowledge one more time. Let
There you go.
me really think about it. All right, that's a little better. 16.
16, you recall these creatures being very easy to hit, so much so that you know its armor class is 10. Only 10.
All right.
But yet we've managed to miss it several times.
Almost impossible to miss.
Xander, you take the damage for the round, which I believe was 6 points of acid
Yep.
damage.
Ooh.
Are you still conscious?
Yep, leaving him with 7.
And you must make a fortitude saving
5.
throw to
Yes.
resist the paralysis now.
Okay. Fort safe.
Oh,
That's an 18.
enjoy your continued tingly paralysis. Idrisil.
Damn.
It's just going to jump up onto the mechanism to avoid the water.
That's an action done.
Yeah. And then looking around the room, can I...
You see a lot of screaming
There's a
and
lot
hear
of
girlish
screaming. There's
sounds
a lot
of
of people
screaming.
floating in the air,
There's muffled screaming.
in the water.
What's that?
There's a lot of people like
Yeah.
muffling and floating. I just see Iggy kind of like spinning, trying to swing his sword around. How many more machines would you say there are? in this?
Under these walls?
Yeah.
Probably a dozen.
And they go up to the ceiling?
At different sections, yeah. Different sides of the walls.
I think I'm gonna...
It's not like Double Dragon where you can hop from
Yeah, that's
machine
what I
to
was
machine.
thinking.
Toss out of the
Like,
And Toka, the water is up to your mid chest.
Oh, wow.
The acids.
I'm
need
just
to get
gonna
out.
try to get to the next mechanism and pull the lever.
Okay. You climb up to the next mechanism and you do so easily. You pull on the lever and nothing happens.
I'm just gonna...
That's it.
Yeah, swing at this thing.
No, that's it. Those 3 actions. Climb up, pull lever.
Oh, okay.
Good. Iggy.
You and me. It's
I'm gonna swing at it.
Both of you.
You're inside the creature, swinging away.
Yep.
Actually, not Jixon.
Huh. I'm gonna use a hero point.
What did you roll? What was your total?
2.
What's your total?
A +2. Oh, that'd be an 11. That's right. Yeah.
A little recall knowledge benefit there, huh?
Yeah. And 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. You slice and hack this creature, and you almost have severed some central supporting quivering mass, but the creature is still alive.
And then I'll try to escape.
Okay, make an escape roll. Athletics or your unarmed attack modifier.
A natural 20.
You are out and can pull one person out with you.
Oh, okay.
Sophie's choice.
Who's in there and what are your health points at?
I am at 6. Xander is at 5.
I mean, I know he can heal everybody, and that's cool and all, but I can shoot water.
It just will see his head pop out and be like, grab the healer! Grab him!
I'll grab Killian.
All right.
Water hands!
You pull the cleric out with you, and the two of you are balancing precariously on one of these machines about 10 feet up off the ground.
Okay. Do I have another action since I'm out of it now?
No, you still have to use that one slowed.
Thank you.
Nice.
It is the cube's turn. It is going after the Toka Zolgath chief here, and it attacks you with its cube face attack with a big 19 to hit.
19 does not succeed with my raised shield.
Wow.
It comes right at you, just wedge your shield. You put your other arm and push back, and it does not get you. It attacks you again in anger with a 10 to hit.
A 10 to hit? That will not make it.
And then it attacks again with a 13 to hit. It is desperately trying to consume.
It's mushing even more around me. I'm zip-locked against the wall.
Jix, you're up.
How far below me is it?
Is it? It's still right in front of you. It's about 10 feet above you and 10 feet below you, type of a thing.
It's above me.
It's a huge cube that goes up and down.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I climbed up.
No, you climbed to the side.
I climbed out. Okay. I'll take my elixir of life.
All right.
That I had ready. So it's just straight 1d6, right?
Yep.
So that's 4.
Taking up to 11, right?
Yep.
And you're no longer slowed.
I am no longer slowed, correct. I'll take out one more and take it.
Another potion?
Yeah.
Okay, and just drinking like crazy.
3.
Boldly healing himself, Jix does.
Just broke out the beer hat of healing.
Who is left on the ground? I think it's just Toka.
Toka is on the ground.
You take 5 points of acid damage.
Oh, 19.
As it burns, and it is now getting up to your armpits, this acidic water.
It's only really bad if it gets to my mouth, right? Okay.
And Killian, you're up.
Don't drink it.
Don't drink it.
Killian will use all 3 of his actions to heal everybody in the party.
Describe this magic as you finally get free.
So Killian raises his holy book up.
Jello drips off of it.
Yeah, as it's jello dripping off, and it glows white, and it's a faint white aura, but it spreads out, I think, 30 feet, and all the light as it touches every party member, they feel the power of Karael.
All right.
Healing them for 4 points of damage each.
Take it.
Everyone gets healed 4, and even the jello mass quivers a little bit with the power that emanates, although it is not healed.
If it happens to be undead, it would take damage.
Got it. Is that it?
Yes.
Toka, you're up. You have held off this creature that was determined to consume you. You got a little bit of breathing room now.
There's no one in the cube presently?
Xander tries to raise his paralyzed hand.
Slashing out is a 19 doing 12 points of damage.
You may take this gelatinous cube down. What happens?
This thing is thudding around to try and find the most juicy side to face me, but does not do so in time as the last slash cleaves the nebulous cluster within, and it actually sounds hard as it goes through, like it were meat or something very tactile, and just cuts right through, and then it just slumps, and the rest of the cube just kind of washes away into the acid that is surrounding it with this crystalline little chunky bit.
All right, you climb up out of this mess and you grab a quickly descending Xander as he goes down. You bring him up next to you and he's kind of just frozen, paralyzed, solid. What do you say to this little gnome that you're holding on to?
I will keep you warm, little spirit.
And I tuck him into my wrap.
Hold that look.
Yeah, they're going on Facebook now.
A picture is being taken right now.
Oh, that's perfect.
The paralyzed Xander.
All right. And go.
You climb and climb and climb, and we see the last one being Toka, following the rest of the group up into the hatch. You've climbed, all of you, up to the top and gone out the hatch and have arrived up above. Here, gratefully for the five of you, and strangely for Toka, you take a breath of fresh air.
Kills Toka.
You can see there are some steps up above, and there is this water stuff is pouring down the steps that you climb up, and you can see sunlight up ahead. It's a little cloudy sunlight, but it is so refreshing, having been like the last 24 hours down in this horrifically smelling lair and cave situation. Who was in the lead? Was it Iggy?
That's probably Iggy still.
Iggy, all right.
Yeah.
Iggy, you climb up these stairs and you find yourself, imagine a 30-foot tall, strange pumping station with medieval valves and pipes and levers like you've seen before, but the top 2/3 of it have been destroyed and rubbled. So you're in the bottom floor with walls that are broken in certain sections, rise up 15 feet or not in the other section. And you can look out and you see you are surrounded by a swamp. It is tall trees that have very little foliage and just kind of hang like dead willows with weird long extended branches that barely don't touch the water. The water is, you're surrounded by this bluish, brownish, greenish water everywhere. Right where you're at in this destroyed, ruined pumping station type thing is some raised flat ground, and attached to it, built onto it, is a makeshift wooden home that you're essentially half of the home. You've just walked out of a basement door, if you will, into this swamp shack. You can see there are knickknacks and terrible little there are knickknacks. There's a little bed thing, there's a little kitchen type area, and you step out into there very quietly and very carefully as your party is slowly following you from behind. You can see there's some open windows with no glass, and you can look out and see there are long metal not tracks, but little metal bridges that are almost like ladders, but more slat-like, but they're 100 feet long, that reach out to another section of raised ground where there's something being grown. And there's another little island that's maybe another 100 feet out with another one of these slatted ladders that go across. There's about 5 or 6 of these that connect this little webwork around this particular swamp house. And in particular, you see several little flitting creatures off in the distance that you recognize as homunculi that you've run into before. Weird little misshapen guys with long, wide jaws that are small and fly on unnecessarily small wings. You also see a terrible, old-looking, haggish witch who is walking around through one of these islands off in the distance. She's barking orders. No, bring it over here. And as she does that, you see one of the homunculi is bringing off a young girl who is screaming and dragging her off to another one of these little islands where there's a cage perched over this acid water that surrounds this swamp. And we will stop there for tonight.
Man, nice.
Toka, the Zolgath chief, put the heroes through the Ascension of the Flesh. Their final challenge took them up through an underground tower to defeat the Burning Hag. Within this tower, they encountered a tight space with a large gelatinous cube that figuratively and literally almost wiped the floor with them. A random aside, the very first creature I ever encountered in a role-playing game back in 1982 was a gelatinous cube, so I'm very excited to finally bring back that creature into my own game. Thank you to Jeremy, Tim, Chris, Seth, Alistair, and a special thanks to our guest star, Christopher. It was an absolute blast having him back for this session. Thank you also to our sponsor, the Fantasy Grounds Virtual Tabletop. Please don't forget to check out patreon.com/ingloriousbards to help support the show. Your donation there will keep us going and get you access to the after show, character leveling audio, access maps, suggest quest ideas, and more behind-the-scenes audio. What will the heroes do now that they have reached this hag? And what fate does Toka and the Zolgath down below have in store for our adventurers? Until next time.